Salutations, my fellow dandies! It's me, Jack Dandy, and we are back after a week's delay in... Well, not delay, break. In Final Fantasy XIV. Yes. Yeah, I couldn't play last week because I lost my voice. I lost my voice hard. Like, I sounded like a proper Cockney gangster. Which is entertaining for like 30 seconds, and you're like, okay, now just talk normally. And I couldn't. So yes, we're back. We are still in Heavenswood. We have defeated Nidhogg for now. I don't know if we've defeated him permanently. We've definitely defeated him for now. And then we've tried to make an assault on the Pope, who is... because we learnt the truth about the past, and that everyone in Ishgard has dragon blood in it, not just the high... I can't remember what they're called. Nobles, just the nobles. And then our boy Harshathon died. And that's where we're at. We're mourning Harshathon. But before that, I finally saved up enough seals. I also need to put some of this stuff in storage, because I've only got like 10 inventory slots left. But that's fine, I'll worry about that later. I saved up enough company seals. Let me just... There we go. I saved up enough company seals. Oh, I can't get my mouth to move at the same time. Never mind. To buy a material container, which contains either a free mount or a minion. And, you know, pack openings are popular. So let's open it, see what I got. Oh! It's Coblin Lava. Too dangerous to allow to grow any larger, too adorable to condemn to the furnace. I don't know what that is. So we're going to use it. And he's going to be my minion for today. Unless we unlock anyone else more adorable. Look at him. Oh, it's like a little crystal snail with legs. Probably not a snail then. Where is he? Okay, well, I mean... Fine. I mean, they can't all be winners, can they? Alright, let's see what Alphino's got to say. Alphino is lost in thought. We must press on with our mission. Tartaru, pray return to your duties as the Forgotten Knight. Let us go and speak with Sir Emmerich, Jack. I worry for his well-being. Okay. This is quite a short mission, considering it's already coming up green. Speak with Emmerich at the congregation of our knights most heavenly. It's such a silly name. They've said it a few times now, but it's still silly. That's the closest one. Let's see what Sir Emmerich. He's been unable to act, I think, because of his position or something. Oh yeah, and Estinian's red now. Yeah, he's covered in dragon blood. It's kind of weird he's not going to wash that off, honestly. I know he thinks it looks cool, and don't get me wrong, I love red as much as the next guy. But it's going to start smelling soon. It's going to start smelling. You can't really use blood as dye. That's why they use beetles. Oh no, they use beetles for blue. What do they use for red dye? Flowers? Probably flowers. Probably not blood.
My friends, I am in your debt.
I hated Harshathon.
Think nothing of it. Your wounds are healing well, I trust.
Oh yeah, we were saving Sir Emmerich from execution. That's what we were doing.
Some wounds do not heal.
Oh, I'm echoing. We're going to see what Sir Emmerich was up to.
The founding. The scriptures, 1,000 years of lies, all to deceive the common man. Nay, our own brothers and sisters. For the blood of the Knights 12 flows within all our veins. You knew this to be true. You knew, and you concealed it.
I should be interested to hear how you came by this knowledge. But yes, you have the right of it.
Oh man, Pope, I thought you were going to be cool. You looked like you were going to be evil, and then you were like, hey, I don't like those Asian guys. And I was like, oh yeah, the Pope might be cool. And then you turned out to be evil in a different way.
The architects of Ishgard, King Thordan and his knights 12, entrapped and butchered the great worm, Ratatosker, that they might partake of her eyes and thereby transcend their mortal limits. Upon learning of their treachery, Nidhogg was consumed with a murderous and justified rage. I dare say you know what followed.
The great worm slew the king and half of his knights.
Aye, but Nidhogg was subdued, and his eyes plucked from their sockets by the knights that remained. Their one mistake was to show mercy, for from his brother Hreisvelger did Nidhogg receive a new eye, thus rejuvenating his form and empowering him to embark upon an eternal quest for vengeance.
We already know all this, but I do appreciate a good recap every so often, especially after a 2-week break.
Thordan's son Haldreth took one of Nidhogg's eyes and learned to wield its power in defense of his people.
That will be Estinian.
Thus was the first Azure Dragoon born.
Well, not Estinian,
and
but
ever since
yeah.
that time, his honored successors have risen to drive Nidhogg from our lands whenever the worm has returned to plague us. I ask you, my son, will you answer for my sins? Will your son and his son answer for me as well?
What do you mean?
If a man cannot atone for his sins in the course of his all-too-fleeting life, must his progeny then be held to account? Must every subsequent generation be judged as well?
No. But that's... It's like...
Thordan's betrayal of Ratatosker was an unconscionable, unforgivable sin. Should we then, as his descendants, meekly surrender ourselves to an eternity of punishment?
I mean, you've still got the eyes. Maybe give the eyes back, and then try and have some sort of high ground. Like, it's like, oh yeah, no, we're innocent, we're innocent. He holds the eyes up to his face and does the googly eye thing again. He's like, stop doing that. It's gonna make him angry again.
Nay, say I. I would not see our children sacrificed in a vain attempt to appease an implacable foe. Dragons are not like us, my son. To they who live forever, the wrongs of antiquity are as those of yesterday. No reparations shall ever suffice. This fact alone should serve as ample justification for our actions. Yet some refuse to see it as such. For men like you, who yearn to commit themselves to a nobler cause, a more compelling narrative is required.
This is your solution. This is how you protect our people. You have given us a lost cause, a death sentence. With your compelling narrative, you but doom our countrymen to give their lives for a lie.
And they do so gladly. Highborn and lowborn alike are proud to serve, to fight and die for their country.
Ah, the lowborns are. Honestly, the highborns aren't a lot of the time. Not unless they, like, lose their nobility and are forced out into the wastes.
And what would you say to them? What would you tell the wives who have lost their husbands? The mothers who have lost their sons? That their loved ones died for naught?
Yeah. Pope lied to you. Sorry. Get over it.
Over the course of 1,000 years, countless men have donned these robes, and every one of them came to accept the necessity of this solution. Once, I hoped you might come to accept it as well.
This is the thing that bothers me about the Matrix movies, which I appreciate is an odd
Do not
tangent
despair, my son.
in a
Soon I shall free us from the sins of antiquity.
in a fantasy series. It's like oh no, we have to keep lying because people, the people won't be able to accept the truth. And it's like I think if you just told people, like in the Matrix, if they just said to them, look, you can stay plugged into the machine where you've got a house, a car, an Xbox, friends, family. Like it's not real, but you know it's warm. Then you can have all kinds of food. You can have sushi and burgers. You like burgers, or you can go and live in a cave and eat protein gruel and wear rags, and you can be cold, and you can have loud raves occasionally. And so I like books. It's like, yeah, there's no books anymore. They burnt all the books for fire. I think more people would just be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna stay in the machine then, if that's all right, Morpheus. You have fun out here with your rave. I'm gonna play on my Xbox. I know I would.
And bring about the change you so fervently desire.
I always, every time I watch a Matrix film and they cut to the bit in real life, I always think, man, I bet those people stink. I bet they do not wash nearly as much as they need to.
If he has spoken with others, I would have their names. Escort him to a cell and question him thoroughly.
Your Eminence.
I think I've beaten both of these men up at different points. Like, I think I beat them up in the dungeon. I think I beat them up in the dungeon that we did last time, yes. Where's everyone gone? So you've been there for hours.
You saw something, did you not? A vision of the past?
It is convenient, him,
So
the
this
Warrior of
is
Light.
the power of the Echo.
Yeah.
Would that it had shown you a finer moment from my past.
It's a convenient power, the Echo, because it does just, you can just completely bypass the, alright, let me tell you what happened section. And then the Warrior of Light can recount it silently, because he doesn't have a voice.
'Twas an exercise in futility, as you saw. Faced with the firmity of his conviction and his many ready rejoinders, my words deserted me. To be frank, I am embarrassed to recall it.
A friend once impressed upon me the importance of differentiating between words, deeds, and beliefs. Were he here, I suspect he would judge your father's conviction to be no more than rank, self-serving delusion.
It was pretty rank.
Even so, I cannot help but wonder what manner of change he intends to bring about.
I have given some thought to that as well. During the battle within the vault, the Heaven's Ward demonstrated strange and unnatural abilities.
Aye, the manner in which Sir Zephyrin struck down Lord Horshafon was unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We're gonna get a
The
flashback.
spectacle called to mind King Thordan and his Knights 12 as they are depicted in scripture. Holy powers and all.
Mere fabrications, which have become objects of faith, instilled with the belief of countless devoted souls.
Ah, they become primals.
7 hells!
If Lady Iceheart can use her own body as a vessel for summoning,
Ah.
I see no reason why others could not.
Are the Heaven's Ward truly so reckless?
Unbelievable!
As they fled, my father spoke of Aziz La. Though I know not what he intends, I fear no good shall come of it. His ambitions are too great, and his minions too powerful. We must find the Heaven's Ward and stop my father before it is too late.
It'd be boring if we stopped them on time, though, because then there wouldn't be a boss to fight. So clearly we're going to stop them slightly too late, and then have to beat them up anyway. Because it's a video game. I mean, if that is any medium, it'd be kind of boring if you just stopped the final boss becoming the final boss. Like, just shy of it, and it's like, oh, okay, well, there's no climactic fight or anything. You just absolutely just kick that in the arse. Master Dandy, Master Alphino, I, Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, do hereby entreat the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. All three of you. In our aid in preventing whatever it is that the Archbishop intends. Oh no. Our aid in preventing whatever it is the Archbishop intends. Your aid in bringing him to justice. Too much blood has been spilled for the lies he perpetuated. No more. I shall pursue to the end of the word from us. Life for death. I will have served Zephyr's heart for what he did to Harshiphon. Yeah! Harshiphont's my bro! Yes. Yes, of course. You two were close, I know. Much has changed since our Order's founding, but our duty to combat the primal threat has not. If the Archbishop and the Heaven's Ward are guilty of the crime of summoning, then Jack and I will stop them. Would that I could join you in the pursuit, but alas, my father's absence has thrown our government into chaos. Ever since the founding of our nation, there has been an Archbishop to serve as a guiding light for the masses, a force of stability to counterbalance the High House's ceaseless maneuvering. Convincing the people to recognize the truth of our origins would have been difficult even with my father's support. The road ahead is that much more fraught with peril without it. Yet, walk it we must, for unity is more vital to our survival than ever. After all, Nidhogg's death did not mark the cessation of Dravanian hostilities. Far from it. We will have a great need of each other in the days to come. You may ever count on my lance, Sir Emmerich. To my dying breath, I shall defend Ishgard from the Horde. If I may, Commander, I would like to assist the Scions in their search for the Archbishop. Because I haven't done anything in the plot yet, and I'm kind of cool, but I really am underused so far in this expansion. Jack, Master Alphino, pray attend me outside. Very well, with me, Jack. I believe we have much to discuss. Neat. Yeah, Lucia's, like, she's been in the plot a while and has done almost nothing. But hey, look, I got an achievement. That's quick. I need to eat some food. What have I got? I should probably just, like, be using stuff up. Have I got anything that I've got two of? There we go, honey muffin. Let's eat two of those. Okay, you can't queue and muffin chomping. I checked the because I've got a couple of red mage quests in the bank, and I was thinking about doing them because I hit 63 off stream while I was doing some side quests. And I was like, oh, should I maybe go and do some of the red mage quests? Because I got like I think 3 queued up now, but I went and had a look, and there's quests all the way to level 70. And there's a single quest at 80. So I think what I'll do is I'll keep going until I hit level 70, and then do them all in one go. There's one ability, I think at level 60, that I won't have if I do that. But I'm already over leveled, so it's fine. The Soleil was eastward bound, so I sent word to Camp Cloudtop on the off chance the airship passed nearby. Sure enough, Lady Laniette informed me that it had been sighted by her scouts. Then the Archbishop is somewhere in the Sea of Clouds. Or was. Not long ago, the airship has not been seen since it disappeared into the northern reaches near the Blue Window. Alas, because the region is firmly held by the Vanu and not easily accessible from Camp Cloudtop, House Hallionart has yet to establish a foothold. We will need not only an airship, but a captain bold enough to risk the Beastman's wrath. Okay, well, we'll call Sid, because he's the only airship captain we know. I think we both know the perfect candidate, Jack. Let us pay a visit to Master Garland at the Sky Steel Manufactory. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying Sky Steel. I always go Sky Steel. I see. Then I will take my leave for now. There are other matters which require my attention. Okay, Lucia. Well, thanks for dipping into the plot briefly and then dipping back out again. You're a peach. I still use your card, I think. Oh, I'm annoyed. I finally saved up the million MGP to buy the Cloud Strife card, but it still defaults to the Squall Leonhawk card when I use the recommended card deck. I guess because he's got 2 aces, and I guess 2 aces, a 6 and a 1 is better than... I mean, he's more balanced even if he doesn't have any aces on him, but... Ugh. I can't be bothered to, like, figure out a deck just to use Cloud. I will eventually. Like, once I've actually got a full... Once I've actually got more cards. But it's just pointless to do at the moment because people have cards from later expansions that I don't have access to because I don't have access to the merchants and stuff. And a recommended deck honestly works works well most of the time anyway, so... Ah, the dastardly duo. What mischief have you two been getting up to lately? You haven't heard, have you? I hardly know where to start. I'll explain. I can explain great swathes of backstory in mere moments with the power of being a mute. Mutism. Mutation. No, not mutation, that's a different thing. He was a good man. Sid, have you heard of... Okay, let's go with this. Sid, have you heard of Aziz La? The Archbishop spoke of it before he fled. No, but it's probably some source of phenomenal cosmic power that's key to his plans. Based on... nothing. From what he told Jack, the Asians tried to tempt him as they tempted Gaius with the Ultima weapon. Even if he spoke true about playing along, I can see him attempting to seize it. As if we needed another reason to pursue him. Well, I'm convinced the Enterprise is at your disposal. Not disposable. Don't dispose of my Enterprise. Come to the airship landing when you're ready to depart. Right, bye. Yeah, it's just as well. After pulling you out of the fire these last few times, I reckoned I was due to deliver you into it. I like Sid. Man, these quests are coming quick and hard and fast, aren't they? It's not even half an hour yet. We've already finished 2. And I'm inside Alphino. Into the fire, is it? In that case, I should inform Tatu of our plans. Pray go on ahead to the airship landing. I shall join you anon. Hey, Stratus. Yes, Aziz La. The apparently cosmic power that will fuel the Archbishop's plans that Sid has not heard of, but guessed immediately what it was. That one. I'm sorry, you're inside who? You heard who I was inside. He's 16. I don't know what the age of consent in Ishgard is. He's 16! I know that doesn't make it any better. He's not 15, that was a mistake. The FF14 Wikipedia says 16. The boys have been hard at work preparing for our flight, and I'm pleased to say we are ready to depart. That is, as soon as a certain... Oh, that's fortunate. I was about to call you something then. Pray forgive my lateness. Tatu and I had much to discuss. We have still no news of the missing scions, but she assures me that Urianger and Riol are pursuing promising leads. I don't know who Riol is, but okay. Nod. Come, come, we can continue this discussion aboard the Enterprise. It's what after medieval France or like the Renaissance age, you can sense that 8 years old. There we go, I'm fine. What's up, Wedge? Yeah, there's a waiting for you aboard the Enterprise, Jack. Should we get going? Yeah. I've apparently discovered a new location. I don't know what that is yet, but I've discovered it already.
To the northern reaches of the Sea of Clouds, where countless isles yet remained uncharted. In search of a mysterious land known as Azizlar, and the unmasked villain who sought to claim its secrets.
So this is a new map.
Oblivious to the new threat which followed in their wake, they came.
Okay, well, this place is neat. It looks a lot like Camp Cloudtop, honestly, but... Okay, so it's still part of the sky, the Sea of Clouds. It's just a different part of the Sea of Clouds. Okay. From here, Camp Cloudtop looks rather far. Be on your guard, Jack. The Vanu could be anywhere, even watching us as we speak. Man, I really am, like, ploughing through these quests. I thought... Assuming the Soleil is here, I doubt she will come to us. We should begin searching the Isles in earnest. Of course, we must remain vigilant for Vanu scouts as well. I'd rather avoid needless bloodshed. Cool. So, I, over the weekend, went and unlocked all of the Aether currents in the Dravanian Highlands. That area is way bigger than I thought it was, by the way. And I'll be honest, it's almost worth doing. Wait, is that Camp Cloudtop? That's not... Oh, there's Camp Cloudtop. Oh, I am here. Oh, I thought this was where I was. And okay, no, this is just this area. Right, okay. What I should have done is probably figured out the air currents here, so that I could fly around here, because that probably would have been more useful. Yeah, what I was going to say is I should have looked ahead and see where I actually was going to go during that during the next session, and then done it there. Most of the reason I did it is because I wanted to make some guy play me in Triple Triad, and he why don't stand? Oh, lookout. Actually, have to read what I'm doing. Imagine that. Lookout. There we go. You search the skies to the Soleil, but see nothing resembling the missing airship. Wouldn't be able to fly yet, some currents are locked behind the main story quest. Ah, okay. Well, I could have at least done as much as I could, so that I would then unlock it during these main story quests and then be able to fly around. Because the Dravanian Highlands especially, just being able to fly really is a time saver. Like, it really is worth doing. I kind of forgot how useful flying is. I did a side quest for the dragon hunters that were over there, and if I couldn't fly, the amount of times they sent me back and forth to the same spot across the map, Christ alive. But, you know, spilt milk and all that. I'll just make do on foot for the time being. Maybe unlock it next. Maybe unlock it for next week if I find time. Mayhap this effort was doomed to failure. Sounds like a goblin. Beg mercy of Netherlands. Does not fight. Does not wish to die. Was that a Vanu being attacked? But by whom? We're going to fight the Windfish at some point today. I remember that came up quite early on in Heavensward, and then they never mentioned it again. Over there. The zones later again, they're multi-layers, and the way down up are really long. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely... I can definitely see why they introduced flying in this expansion, because, Christ. The Imperial troops. Ishgardians, seize them. They'll know where the Archbishop is. The enemy of of my enemy. We've no choice. With me, Jack. Protect the Vanu. Yeah. Now I can unlock the Vanu as beast friends, and then beat them in triple triad. That's the only reason I care. Oh,
Protect me!
Who's Thaliak? Is that one of the 12 gods? I only know mine. It's on the title screen when I select my character. Well, this is exciting. Hang on, let me get this to... There we go. How you doing, Alphino? Alphino, why is there a giant robot? What have you been doing? A Hoplomachus? Oh, that's the man. Oh, the Medicus is... No, the Medicus is also a dude. Hang on, eventually I will target the robot. There we go, Legion Gunship. Alright, that's probably the least interesting name out of all of the things that we've killed. Why do the dudes have really interesting names and then the giant flying robot is just the warship? Gunship, even. Anyway. Dead now. Hang on. Yeah! Woo! Oh, you can't jump for... I opened my map in Celebration, because it wouldn't let me jump in Celebration. There we go. Woo! Netherlands save Lonel Vanu from certain death. Showers Netherlands with thanks like summer squall. Lord Vanu knows not what Buin bears Netherlands to cloud sea, but warmly welcomes them. Shows gratitude where gratitude is due. Ah! They're bird people. They're bird people, right? Yeah, they're bird people. This voice makes sense. Lord Vanu owns much and more to Netherlands. As saviours, as heroes, Zundu welcomes you. To village we go, to north. Come. Ah! Vanu want a cracker? So the Garleans were searching for the Archbishop and believed that the Vanu knew something of his whereabouts. Methods notwithstanding, they may have the right of it. I conclude that we should accept Lonu Vanu's offer of hospitality and visit his village. That's because the foot soldiers have Roman sounding names, but Romans never had airships, so they don't have any funny Roman airship names. I mean, I guess. They could have called it like a chariot. No, fair enough. This is the problem. Is I'm like, well, they could have called it named it after this Roman thing. Remembering I don't know anything about ancient Rome. That's just a tune. And then... Oh, it's so slow. They got a merry-go-round. But the Vanu got like a theme park. They've gone up a lot in my estimations, if so. I'll be honest. Oh, it's just the Aetherite crystal, okay. Light breeze glides, leaves to rest. Come and lay down your burdens, Netherlings. Lord Uvanu throws wide arms in greeting. Behold, okay, Zundu. This is okay, Zundu. We've also got good Zundu, great Zundu, and not so good, not so okay, kind of meh Zundu. And then there's terrible Zundu. We don't go there anymore. A far warmer welcome than the ones you've received from the Vundu, I think. Ah, Vundu bluster and blow hither and yon, sandal and fury like aimless gale. What unseen lightning bolt begets such thunderous report? Ah! There you are. Oh no, there you are. Did you see it? It's that damned flying whale again. The Imperials are after it. Where? The white? Oh! Don't kill the Primal, that's my job. He's wounded. Oh, that's not going to be good for his stomach. By the 12, did that beast just eat that island? Oh, insatiable white, oh, devourer of worlds, why must you torment us? That was my holiday home. I just finished paying the mortgage on that island. I was going to build a little nest. Oh, why do all the bad things happen to Lonuvanu? Ah, Lonuvanu wastes no more words on his unfathomable deeds. Come, Netherlings, come and break words with Chief of Zundu. Gah! Doing the bird voice is harder on my throat than I thought it was going to be. But I'm committed. I'm committed. I mean, the Etheric spins are basically carousel. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a wonder the other people haven't like dressed theirs up. Well, theirs is actually kind of busted, isn't it? Ah, interesting. Well, let's attune to it. Busted or not, that's never stopped me before. I asked the bird people nicely. They probably is sit on it. I don't want to sit on it. I want to kill it. I'm Jack Dandy, Warrior of Light, Primal Hunter. You know. There's a Primal. It needs a killing. It needs a killing. It needs a killing quickly. With wisdom deep as nethers and eyes clear as the cloudless blue, Sonu Vanu speaks for Zundu. Hearken to his words. By the way, I am giving all the bird people the same voice. Same as I've done with the Moogles and the bug people. It's too much. There are too many characters to give them individual bird people voices. I know they're not going to be that important. Netherlands deliver Lonu Vanu from the claws of steel-shod fiends and prove nobility. Ah! He knows not to ignore Zephyr winds and brings before you with all haste. Soft rays to soothe the heart and sunshine to warm. Gratitude of Sonu, Chief of Zundu, is boundless. Ah! Yes. We are honoured to meet you, Chief Sonu. I am Alphino Lavilia, and these are my companions, Jack Dandy and Sid Garland. We come in search of an airship, a flying vessel of the Nethers, which we're The Nethers always makes me laugh. Which we believe is somewhere in the Cloud Sea. Oh, certainly Aetheryte, the glowy carousel. Yes, you're right. I would enjoy that. Ah, like the black steel shod contraption from which you saved Lonuvanu. Ah! Alas, no, that ship belongs to the Garlean Empire, an old enemy of ours, though not the enemy we are looking for at present. One of our many other enemies. We're not well liked, honestly. The men we seek wear armour of purest white and are led by an older man in white robes. Wait, Lord Uthao, who tell of these netherlings? You do. Are you certain? No! Our sun rises and falls and returns. We are. Zundu scouts can testify to words of Lonu Vanu. Aye, 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 aye. Winds carry purpose of netherlings to our ears as well. Netherlings sink key to Aziz La. Hopefully give our friends Ector 9 a less annoying voice. What's wrong with my bird voice? How dare you? They're good bird people, although they go car at you a few times. If they go car, they're going to get a similar bird voice, I'm going to be honest. My range of bird voices is quite limited, despite my affinity for birds. Now we're getting somewhere. Tell us, Chief Sonu, what exactly is this Aziz La? Beware, Netherlands, for black as cloud portend greatest danger. Look not into the heart of the tempest. There lies ancient birthplace of sin, home of forbidden secrets. To speak more is to call the wind. Ah! He exaggerates, but the white devours eye where the key is kept. Oh, freaking great. The whale ate the one you kept. It's like, yeah, that entire island was just to keep the key, and then the whale ate it. That prick. Deep within bowels of mighty Bismarck it lies, beyond reach of the foolhardy. And beyond ours. Kill it or wait for it to poop, you must. Rejoice not in his gluttony, Lonuvanu, for as stone gives way to water and wind, all yields to the white. Ah! This he knows, Chief Sonu. Madness of Vundu bodes ill for all Vanu. As this is such an annoying zone, that zone gives me PTSD from farming relic weapons there. Oh, well, at least I've got something to look forward to, then. I like the bagpipe music here, at least. That's nice. Oh, there's a current. Let's grab that real quick while I remember. I was going to say, I don't think... So, yeah, I did Kurth's Western Highlands. I need to do 4 quests in the Duranian Forelands. 4 quests in the Churning Mists. And then... I need to find one more and then do 5 quests in the Sea of Clouds. I do have a quest to turn into the Sea of Clouds as well. And from unlocking the Kurth's Western Highlands... The only one that took a long time is I had to do a dungeon. Yeah, actually thinking about it, I did have to do a dungeon to unlock that one, so... I guess if I have to do a dungeon in the Sea of Clouds, it might not be quicker, but... Probably good to get these unlocked eventually. They nerfed the flying grind. Yeah, I guess it kind of didn't make as much sense once they made everything flyable. Well, let's see how it goes. If I see any quests that have Aetheryte in them, I'll pick them up. So, Aziz La is home to forbidden secrets accessible only to the bearer of a key, which the Archbishop covers. Much as I'd like to believe it's safely within the belly of Bismarck, the Knights of Heaven's Ward wield primal powers. If we do not slay the whale and claim the key first, they surely will. Quite how we go about it is another matter. As was the case in our battle with Leviathan, we are out of our element, and this time we have far fewer allies to call upon. Be that as it may, our customary approach still holds true. We must begin by learning more about the White. Let us each question the residents of the village, then regroup and share our findings anon. Alright. Information gathering. And what this means is that one person will tell us the information we want, and the other 2 people won't. And then, but we still have to talk to all 3 of them, even if we talk to the right person first. If Netherlands seek knowledge of the White, then speak with Cooney Valley, the foremost keeper of tales. But neglect not to present self with humility and respect. As sun yields to moon and moon to sun, Netherlings must greet Kunu Valley with a bow. You go over and bow to her, and she kicks her ass, and you come back and goes, what the fuck? I was like, oh, sorry, not used to Netherling speak. I meant a bow. She really likes bows. Like, you know, the kind you can put in a hair on top of a present. Yeah, sorry, I've only seen it written down. Ah! I need 4 coins. Shame I knocked on flying on 20 characters before they halved the farm. It's always the way. But I mean, you know. That's the chocobo. The benefit is you get to enjoy all of the stuff as it comes out. Like, 6.1 comes out next month. You get to enjoy it live. I do not. I am a bit worried about what the... Where am I going? I'm going towards the other quest that I have. This is not the right quest. Probably some of my chocobo too. Go on then, let's kill this thing. I still need to level Augustus up, so... There we go. I need to go over here. Oh, a window warmer camper. Heavens. You leave my chocobo alone. Speaking of chocobo, the Chocobo GP came out today, and I was... when they announced it, I was like relatively kind of optimistic. I thought, oh hey, I like kart games and I like Final Fantasy. I'll play this when it comes out. And I thought, well, it'll either come out and it'll either be like maybe 25 quid, because, you know, who other than Sega could get away with releasing a full-priced kart game in a world of Mario Kart? Like, when Mario Kart exists, especially when Mario Kart has DLC coming out soon, who would dare try and sell a full-priced Mario Kart game? So then it said, oh, it's 40 quid. And I was like, okay, well, that's honestly kind of ruined my... That's honestly kind of ruined my excitement for Chocobo GP. And then, it went, oh, it's got a free trial. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I mean, I guess I can try it out and see if it's any good. But then it's just filled with, like, the worst, like, free-to-play microtransaction garbage. Like, the free mode, you can play... You can race with 3 characters. You can't buy anything. You can buy premium currency, but you can't spend the premium currency. The 40 quid version basically unlocks the shop so that you can start buying, so that you can start spending the premium currency. And the premium currency expires after 5 months as well, like the free premium currency anyway. So you can't even save it up and try and get stuff for free that way, because it expires before you've got enough to buy another season pass. It's, yeah. But the thing is it's like, I could maybe, it'd be more annoying if the game was actually good, and then I played like 3 races, like, yeah, no, this is awful. This is bad. This is a bad game. Yeah, Square have we've started. Me and my friend have started referring to Square as Good Square and Evil Square. Evil Square are the ones that do like things like Chocobo GP and Babylon's Fall came out the other week. That's that's a Square published game made by Platinum Games. Christ alive, that came out with a whimper. Yeah, Avengers. Hey, Strangers of Paradise might be good. Don't put Strangers of Paradise on that list just yet. That at least doesn't have any, like, games as a service shit, or, you know, any, like, just, like, free-to-play crap on top of a paid game. Like, either have it as a paid game, or have free-to-play stuff. One or the other. You bought Babylon, and it's a shit show. Oh, I saw it, and I thought, I like Platinum, but this really looks like a not very good game. just from the event and immediately. And you played Strangers of Paradise for 40 hours, or what, on one of the earlier demos? I played the second trial. It's disgusting. Good disgusting or bad disgusting? Because that could be taken either way, but I'm guessing bad because you listed it with Avengers and Babylon's Fall. I did see your comment earlier about the free demo, so I've got. Well, I quite like the look of Strangers of Paradise. Oh, Babylon's disgusting. Okay, I quite like the look of Strangers of Paradise. I pre-ordered the deluxe edition, premium edition, the one that lets you get access early. But I've also downloaded the demo. So what I'm going to do is on Monday, stream the demo, which is the first 3 missions, and if I can finish it, the last mission of San Andreas, because Christ. So we'll play the last mission of San Andreas, and then the first 3 missions of Strangers of Paradise, and then I can then continue in the deluxe edition, which has early access on Wednesday. Strangers on Potential, there's so much wrong with it. I've heard that they have improved quite a lot from the demo, based on the feedback from the last demo. And the last demo kind of just threw you in like into a random dungeon with random jobs, whereas this is the start of the game, so it's a bit more gradual. So I feel like so long as it's good enough to not be unplayable, I kind of want to see just what the fuck is with the story. Like just the whole thing with Jack and his mobile phone is just enough for me to go, yeah, I'm invested. I'm invested in this man. He is ridiculous and I love him. It might be terrible though, so I absolutely reserve the right to. I absolutely reserve the right to drop it if it is terrible. Have they? Because this is the improved version. Oh, is it still quite bad? Is it? Okay. I mean, I'm not expecting like Elden Ring or anything off the back of it, but like I said, so long as it's not unplayable, I enjoyed the little bit I played of the second demo, and it was fine. It really was just kind of like incredibly okay, and that's all I'm expecting from it. I really hate not being able to jump. Yeah, I don't mind it so much, but again, after playing Elden Ring, not being able to jump, going back to not being able to jump in a game like that is going to be difficult. It's fighting's kind of jank and not good jank. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'll give it a fair shot because I've already paid for it. I've already bought the premium edition, which comes with all the DLC. So we'll see. I'll see what the deal is, and then yeah, if I get to the end of Wednesday and it's like, yeah, no, this game's trash, I'll either just have to take the hit on the nose or power through. I have played some terrible games in my time, so. It wouldn't be the first time. Like, I've played... Oh, what was that? Well, I've played the Dead Island spin-off. What was that called? I finished that as well. Escape Dead Island. I finished that game. If I could finish that game, I could finish any game. But I also played... what was... Oh, I don't think I'm going to bother to look it up. I played a game, it was a Capcom game, where you played as an undead guy and his arms and legs would come off. He was immortal, but his arms and legs and head would come off. Oh, I can't bother to look it up. If I can finish those games, I can finish this. I can finish if I can finish Duke Nukem Forever. I can finish Strangers in Paradise. I really love the job system. Yeah, job systems are cool. If Babylon had Stranger's job system, it'd be a good game. That's interesting. I honestly, like, Babylon 4 is like a really weird thing, because it's like, I haven't really heard, I've literally just heard nothing about it. Like, they really put that game out there to die on its ass. Like, I didn't even know it was out. And I follow numerous, like, video game news websites, and just no one was talking about it, good or bad. Yeah. So, hey, I did actually see it reviewed really, really poorly on Metacritic, and the reason is because I was like, oh hey, maybe I'll play that on New Year's Day, unless something providing A, the servers are still up, and B, nothing else comes out that's worse than it. But there was an interesting point that Square Enix have published one of the worst games every year for the last 4 years, because they published Balan Wonderworld, which I didn't think deserved as harsh a criticism as it got, but it was still a bad game. They also published one of the new Front Mission games, was it? The one with the Wanzers. I think it was Front Mission. And Avengers. Although Avengers wasn't bad, the single player in it was okay. It was just all the rest of the shit tacked onto it that was crap. I liked the single player in Avengers. I thought that was quite good. I liked Ms. Marvel. So, Babylon's demo is the first 2 zones, and then the first 2 zones are horrendous, and then the reviewers got past the first 2 zones. Ah, well, that's not great. I mean, it's not what you want to start off with if the first 2 zones are terrible, and then it gets better. But yeah, I just saw... Yeah, it's just I've not heard a great deal about that game. Maybe, like I said, if it's still up and it's still the worst reviewed game of the year, I'll maybe play it for New Year's. That's my... I'm going to make that my thing. Just play 12 hours of Babylon's Fall. Zephyr winds at your back and sunshine to warm your brow, traveller from below. Kunu Valley, keeper of tales, here's your words and she remembers. Ah! In times long ago it lands elsewhere before even the clouds see. The white is one among many... Newborn, he swims beside his many brothers in seas of endless water. But hated the white is, for his brothers are purest black. So great is their contempt, their loathing. They turn upon him and rend his flesh asunder, and so he falls, only to rise again, for merciful gods raise him to the heavens, and there he is reborn. Ah! The white still longs for the sea to which he cannot return, but in rebirth a splinter of the divine is shared, and so he opens his maw from whence come the clouds, and a new sea is born, home to him alone. Content he gazes below and sees others who are as he, hated and hunted. He weeps, and in his benevolence he raises up the isles of earth and guides these people into the cloud sea. Such is the tale of his rebirth and the salvation of the Vanu. May it never be forgot. Ah! But this demon which menaces the cloud sea, his rage is that of the Vundu. His hunger is that of a wild beast. The isles are his gift to us, yet now he must consume them. Kunu Valley knows no tales like this. Okay, so that's the story of the Windfish that the Primal is based on. And so the Vundu have summoned an evil version. I mean, as all Primals are, more or less. All the reviewers talk about how shit the game is, but none of them got to the good part, which obviously shows how bad the start of the game is. Yeah, I mean, surely someone must have played further. But I guess, yeah, if the first 2 zones are that bad, then it's just like, at a certain point you just have to go, I need to spend my time reviewing a better game. Because it did come out, it did come out unfortunate timing with, like, Horizon, Forbidden West, and Elden Ring coming out in quick succession. 2 much better games. There's been some funny discourse about Horizon, Forbidden West, and Elden Ring, because some of the developers for Horizon Forbidden West are like really salty that Elden Ring's kind of completely eclipsed them. And I think it's part of it is because the original Horizon got completely eclipsed by Breath of the Wild, which came out 2 weeks later. So it's just like, it's happened again. I feel bad for them. I've played Horizon. It's fine. I didn't like it enough to finish it, but it's a fine open world game, and Aloy's cool enough, I guess. She's okay. So it's a shame, but it's just bad timing that they released both of their games right before like Game of the Year open world games came out that just completely eclipsed them. There's not a single review that spoke of the features you unlock after the first few chapters, so I genuinely believe none of them got past that part. Interesting. I do like when you do... Well, I say like. It's always an interesting insight to of how reviewers work when they... it's fine. I understood what you were saying. It's always an interesting insight into how reviewers work when you read a review and it's quite clearly that they've played the game wrong. I remember when Resident Evil 2 came out, there was an IGN... I think it was IGN. It's normally IGN. There was an IGN reviewer that complained that playing Claire's scenario was exactly the same as playing Leon's scenario, just with a couple of bits swapped around. And it became obvious from reading it that what they'd done is they'd played... Rather than playing Leon's scenario and then playing Claire's scenario that follows it, Leon A, Claire B, they had just played Leon A and Claire A, just played two brand new games side by side. It's like, yeah, you've not done that right. You're supposed to continue and play Claire B, which is, admittedly, not too dissimilar, but does finish the game and have a final boss. So... I watched an actual paid streamer play the game and he quit before the first chapter's big badass boss fight. Sponsored, not paid. Yeah, that's not great when you can't even pay people to play the game. I mean, a sponsor's technically paying them, but I guess they're not paid to... They're only paid, I suppose, sponsored to play it for a bit. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. I've never been sponsored, or no one's ever paid me to play anything. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would, in a heartbeat. I would. Yeah, I look at those Raid Shadow Legends. What do they call them? Sponsorships offers on Twitch, and it's just like, man, if I thought I could actually make some money off of that, oh boy, I'd sell out in an instant. But we're not there yet. What's up, Alphano? So according to the Vanu, the Sea of Clouds and the Floating Isles were gifts from Bismarck to his people. Gifts which he has taken to eating, yes. Technically within his rights, I suppose, if perhaps a little ungenerous. Gods, eh? But what of you, Alphano? Did you learn aught of value? Alas, no. That is unless you have an interest in the intricacies of Vanu's sky fishing. I do! I've been needing to catch fish for a while now for my Grand Company quests. Sky fishing. My god, that's it, Alphano, my boy. I could kiss you. Alphano's getting a lot of action today. For what we have observed, Bismarck. I think Bismarck is pronounced like this, by the way. I think it's one of those words that I know in my head is Bismarck, but when people say it, it's like Mark or Baysmark. It's one of those weird ones. I'm sure a character will say it after I've said it 100 times as Bismarck, and correct me, as they always do. Is a creature of pure instinct, driven primarily by hunger. When wounded by the Imperials, it fled, but not before devouring another island to restore its strength. What I propose is this. We tow a suitably appetizing island through the Sea of Clouds, in essence fishing for our flying whale. Once we draw Bismarck out of hiding, we shall use dragon killers to fire grapnels into the beast's hide, and then reel it in close, enabling our resident Aegon Slayer to engage it directly. Epstein's like, did someone say dragon killer? I'm over here. A bold plan, Master Garland, but an exceedingly dangerous one. Should Jack fail to subdue the creature, we would almost certainly be eaten along with the rest of your appetizing island. Yes, I would. Oh, he won't fail, and if anything does go wrong, I'll be at the helm of the Enterprise, ready to tow him out of trouble. I wouldn't entrust a task like this to anyone else. Nor I. I trust you have no objections to my joining you as well. Not at all. The more the merrier. Right then, it seems the boys and I have a lot of work to do if the Enterprise is to be ready for our fishing trip. While you two need to find me some bait. Not just any island, mind. I want a mouthful at most. Cool. So we're just going to steal land off of these birds to feed it to their godfish. I'm down with that. So, Babylon's more promising than Strangers. The thing is with Strangers is that I like the premise of Strangers more than I liked the premise of Babylon. So even if the gameplay is worse, I could probably tolerate Babylon a lot more. Tolerate Strangers a lot more. Like I really liked, for example, Assassin's Creed 1, and I like 100% in that game. And then Assassin's Creed 2 came out, and despite Assassin's Creed 2 being the better game, couldn't get into it because I didn't like the Renaissance era. Don't know why, just didn't appeal to me. And then they made 3 more games in the Renaissance era, and I kind of dropped off the series. Babylon's getting a massive Nier event, sexy outfit incoming, game is saved. I mean, people do like their Nier crossovers, if this game has taught me anything. You were inside of it. Yeah, no, this is it. I was saying, Alphino's had a busy day. Alphino's had a busy day. He's had me inside of him. Sid wants to kiss him. Now we're going to go and... Right, and he loves it when a plan comes. We can't see the rest of that. Well, you heard Sid. We need an island to bait the hook. By way of a first step, I propose we speak with Chief Sonu. If the Zundu are as concerned by Bismarck's behaviour as they have given us to believe, they may well be supportive of our efforts to slay him. Sounds good. Used all my geishas. Oh, that's not geisha. That's oh well, whatever. I've topped him up anyway. That's my food meter. Let's eat a pretzel. Let's eat 2 pretzels. Haha. Strangers never pissed me off. They didn't let me unlock the jobs I wanted. I wanted Ninja and Breaker. Both are locked at the dimmer. Ninja I wanted because Ninja. Yeah. My favourite thing to do, which I don't think you can do in Strangers to Paradise, is I used to really like... And I say used to really like. I think there's only one game you can do this in. I think it's like Final Fantasy 5? Is I like to cross Monk with Ninja, because then you could have a two-handed... You could dual wield... there was something about it that it was like I could dual wield katanas, but you also got extra melee strength or something. So I just had like all my guys doing normal damage, and then my monk ninja was doing like 2,000 or 3,000 damage more than everyone else. It's like a glass cannon, but it was great. Breaker I wanted because their special ability is called Zantetsuken. I mean, yeah, Zantetsuken is a cool name. Right, how many do I need to... So the mission I've got at the moment, I think, has a Aether current on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one's got one, and there's one over there that probably has one. I wonder if it's worth just really quickly doing these side quests. So that I can unlock flying. Because if I'm going to be running around the Sea of Clouds, because, I mean, it hasn't escaped my attention that I have not done much of the Sea of Clouds. And I think the other 2 are over here anyway. So... yeah, it makes sense for me to sort of unlock it so that I can actually fly around. I might do that. Let's crack on with the main story mission for the time being, because I need to do this anyway. And we'll see where that puts me. Zantetsuken is the Primal Odin's big one-hit kill ability. Oh, that's what it is. I know I'd heard of it. I think it's come up in a couple of other things as well, but yeah, that's Odin's ability, isn't it? The Tramated is upon us, the White Feast, and the Thunder rejoice in his carnage. Hear me, Chief Sonu. This creature which torments you now is not the deity who raised up the floating isles and made a gift of them to you. He is a perversion of your beliefs given form by the Vundu, a false saviour who consumes that which he should rightly safeguard. Yet it need not be this way, Chief Sonu. We have the power to strike down this impostor, but we must beg of you an island to see it done. Moats against the tempest, in vain do they struggle. Yet who is Sonu to speak of what may be? Perhaps even the Tramontane can turn into the Ponenti. Yeah. Ah, very well, Netherlings. When you are ready, tell Zundu scouts what manner of island you require, and they guide you to it. We shall not fall, Chief Sonu. On that you have my word. Come, Jack, let us see how Sid's preparations are progressing. Look, these humans have showed up. They got nothing to base their competency on, but hey, nothing we've tried worked, and we've tried almost nothing. Most of the games where Odin is there uses antics to kill us, so when I saw I could use it, I was hyped. I mean, yeah. That's the one where he throws his spear up into the air, isn't it? And then it comes down and explodes. I'm not. I'm just sort of vaguely remembering it off of the Odin summon from FF7. I leveled all my jobs to get breaker, and they got a pop up. This job is locked in the demo. I like as well that you're like, Strangers isn't very good. I still put 40 hours into it and unlocked all these jobs, but it's not very good. Oh, God, I've got that. Okay, yeah, this is definitely going to be worth getting. Unlocking. This place is, and I like the fact that I can't even fly in the little flying airship they've given me. I just have to sort of meekly hop upstairs. It's just embarrassing. So yes, I think I will just take a quick second to unlock the side quests, to unlock the Aether Currents in this area, because look at this. It's bad enough I can't move at full speed. And as if it knew I was talking about it, here comes an Aether Current. So I guess the ones they've left, if they've cut out half of them, are the ones that you've sort of come across as part of the campaign anyway. Because I haven't searched for any of those; they've just been there. Don't like to make opinions fast, like over in Judge Babylon of 30 minutes of gameplay. That's fair. I can respect that. I sadly don't have the time to do that, so I will make gut decisions. But even if there's a game that's like, as I said, even if there's a game that's functionally good, if I don't like the art, if I don't like the art style or the premise, then it doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I was really enjoying Horizon Forbidden West. No, not Forbidden West. I haven't played that one. Horizon Zero Dawn. I really liked the opening area because it was in the snow. And it was really cool. And I completely cleared like every bit in the opening area. I was really enjoying it. And then the second area is a big sand desert. And I was like, oh, I don't like this area. And stopped playing. That's it. I was enjoying myself up until then. But then it went into a sand area. And it was a big desert. And it was all rocky. And I was like, no, I don't like this as much. I'm not going to... And, yeah. I might get back to it one day. But it's just... Yeah. But no, fair play. I think there's definite merit in trying a game out for yourself if you like the look of it. Like I said, I played that Ballad Wonderworld, and yeah, it was a lot better than I would have thought it was based off the reviews. I thought it was going to be an unbearable day, and it was just kind of okay, really. Like, it flawed, but fine. Our Ishgardian friends have furnished us with dragon killers and ammunition, and I've taken the liberty of procuring a Magitech field generator as well. Rest assured, we've changed to spare. Every link forged by the manufacturer's master craftsmen. If you're any lingering doubts as to their strength, know that they were originally intended to bind dragons, and were not found wanting. It pleases me to inform you that the Vanu have agreed to furnish us with an island of our choosing. Then all that remains is to confirm the readiness of the poor buggers who will actually be doing the fight, Jack, let Wedge know when your party is assembled. Oh. I didn't think we were going to go into the dungeon this quickly, but okay. I should probably be telling you this, but I don't like this plan. I don't like it one little bit, but I can't help but being excited all the same. So tell me, Jack, you ready to hunt the white whale? Yeah. After you then, Jack. All aboard. The limitless blue, hard, now accessible. The fact that they call it the white whale just makes it sound like this is a futile effort, because like that was the whole point of the white whale. I don't have the battle hall lined up this time, do I? No. Limitless blue. Join. Alright, well, this is the perfect opportunity for me to go and do some of the side quests to unlock the Aether currents while I wait. Exactly. I mean, I don't mind desert areas, but it was just like really... there was something about it just rubbed me the wrong way. And I was just like, oh, I just don't want to spend... Like, I'd spent 20 hours in the opening area. I just didn't want to spend another 20 hours in this boring desert area. I was like, ugh. Ganu Valley cannot escape unending thunderstorm of buzzing bugs, and desires sleep more than rain during summer drought. Ganu Valley has idea to soothe bugs droning but delirious from exhaustion. Netherling goes in Ganu Valley's stead. To east slides Gurgle Grass, which devours bugs that Vanu hatchlings feast on. Oh, God's sake. Wham or camp meat. Netherling brings Ganu Valley 3 and Storm and Ears proceeds to dull drizzle. Okay, that's one. I guess I'll do the 2 Vanu ones. This is a really fun fight, is it? Okay, that's cool. Is it a trial, or is it a... Because the trials are just fights, aren't they? Yes. Okay, that's cool. Let me just warn you, though, so you don't die. You can fall off. So you most likely will fall off, so watch the edge. Appreciate that. Yes, probably absolutely will. Netherling's coming is fortuitous as late season's rains. Ganu Vanu and Ganu Vanu's family faces desperate times. His brother verges on falling Zundu's rite of passage again. All Zant Vanu in Oku Zundu must undergo rite of passage for respect of others in tribes, otherwise no better than nestling. Brother fails trials 7 times, must try for the 8th time soon. 8 times, no Vanu ever fails trial 8 times. Brother fails again, gales of laughter from others in tribe, shame family until day, sun in sky no longer burns. Ah! Gurnu Vanu seeds Netherling help. God damn it, this voice hurts. Seeds Netherling help like others like wind, which brings seeds to bloom, and Gurnu Vanu would ask for his help as well. Rite of passage rules very strict, but Gurnu Vanu has plan. Rules forbid aid from other members of tribe, but say nothing of Netherlings. Help my brother, and quell impending storm of derision of our family faces. Storm of derision of our family faces, I see. Brother's name is Gurnu Vanu, and he roosts. Gurnu Vanu knows not where. Brother's temperament changes faster than breeze in autumn. Ask other Vanu and seek him out. Or Gurnu Vanu stays nestling forever. Alright, so I have to ask around for where his brother is. Yeah, I figured it would be because it was a primal, but I just wanted to check. I'm I've not had great deal of luck with the levels where you can fall off of. If I can fall off the trial area, I have not yet beaten Titan without falling off of the level. He's a bugger for it. Doesn't help. They talk a lot. They do talk quite a lot. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be around them too much longer, but Netherling finds Gurnu Vanu easily. Look under every tree in village. Gurnu Vanu follows shade. As sunset follows sunrise, say to Gurnu Vanu, wake up, and Netherling come to know true meaning of panic. Gurnu Vanu never where he should be. Like that, I was just asking the guy next to him, and like the Gurnu Vanu's like going, what the fuck, did you not believe me? I just told you. Gurnu Vanu never where he should be. While other Vanu work, Gurnu Vanu soars like Griffin in his dreams. Gurnu Vanu not see him since sunrise. I need one more. Bird. Red Major Dragoon are notoriously hard to play on those small, tiny circular arena fights. Yeah, the backflip doesn't help, I'll be honest. Netherlands seeks out Gunu Vanu. He is skilled at 2 things: finding shade for napping and running away when the chief gives him work. Newborn hatchling works harder than him. Ah! Okay. So I need to go with the chat mode in say, enter a phrase containing wake up to rouse Gunu Vanu. Do I still have to find him though? Yes, I do. He's over there. I like that I actually have to say it as well. That's quite cool. I kind of wish I had the time to do more of these side quests because they're normal. I've done most of the side quests I've done are in the search of unlocking triple triad cards, and they're perfectly good side quests and stuff. It's a shame they're not part of the main quest, but I just don't have time to do. If I just did every single side quest, I'd never make any progress. Like I'm already 4 expansions behind the main thing at the moment, so it's a shame. But there's a bit where you need to get on the whale's back in order to damage it. If you don't stand on it, you do 0 damage, I recall. Appreciate the heads up. I will, yeah, it's entirely possible I would have missed that, so thank you. Alright, so say, and then in chat I need to say, wake up. Ha! Ah! Gunu Vanu awake? Yes, he is. Gunu Vanu works hard. Netherling? No. No wings. Fleshy beak. Not Vanu, certainly. Netherling, you should not seek on Vanu that slumbers. Claws cut sharper than fierce gale. Yeah, your brother told me to come and get you because you suck. Ah! Gunu Vanu's brother sends Netherling to help with rite of passage. Gunu Vanu passes right and is no longer a nestling. Heaven shine on Gunu Vanu this day. Warrior failing 8 times, weighs heavy on heart. But now with Netherling's help, Gunu Vanu casts off weight and soars higher than he in OK Zundu imagines. Ah! Yeah. I mean, unless there's a triple triad guy locked behind this quest, unfortunately, I'm not going to help you any more than this. But, you know, good luck. Good luck. Okay, let's go and kill those 3 things for the other guy. Alright, we've got 4 DPS, 0 tanks, and 0 healers so far, so it's going well. It's going well. The DPS is sorted. Actually, where do I need to go? Got the gurgle glass at the designated locations. You haven't... Yeah, I'm doing that one at the moment. Oh, over here. Oh. Well, that was silly of me. For some reason I thought it was back that way, but it's over here. Well, fortunately, in my confusion, my run timer has almost ticked down to 0, so I can start running again. Huzzah! I think I killed some of these things earlier when I got lost. But in a different area. It's not much faster, but it's probably marginally faster. It really doesn't. I really can't. It's hard to tell when you're at level 1 whether it is actually any faster than just running. I'm sure it's probably like 1.1 to 1.0 change in speed at this rate, but I guess that adds up over long distances. Still no tanks. Only DPS playing on Friday. I was going to say earlier, but I got distracted with something. Obviously 6.1 comes out in next month, so in a few weeks. I don't know how... I'm hoping the servers don't become like incredibly clogged up again like they did last time, because fine, get off it that way then. That was annoying. Basically, like, so long as it's not too bad, like, it's just a case of I can just sign in at 7 o'clock and then queue for an hour and make sure that I'm actually in. But when you sign in and it's like, oh, there's 3,500 people trying to play the game, it's like, that's less great. Damn you for being so good and popular, Final Fantasy XIV. So yeah, it will be my first... actually, I'd say it'd be my first expansion. I think there might have been... Oh no, I guess... Because I guess the PS5 release was probably the last... Was probably 5.5 or 5.6 or whatever. So it will be my first patch since I started... My major patch since I started playing. EU server queues are really bad. Not sure how bad it'll be. That's promising. Well, I guess I just have to see how it is on the day. And if it's just, hey, I'm trying to sign in. There's 7,000 people in the queue. Let's play some Elden Ring. Nothing I can do about it. And there's a really good chance that Elden Ring will still be around because, oh Christ, it's a really long game. I keep hearing horror stories of people who are like, I keep thinking that I'm getting to the end of the game, and then it just goes, no, there's more. I hadn't seen the full map, and I've now seen the full map, and I realise how naive I was in assuming that I was anywhere close to having filled out the full map. I am on the southern part of the map still in that game. Christ. And I haven't even gone to the southern part of the bit of the map that I'm on. So I'm on the northern part of the southern part of the map. Sleepless nights make Ganu Val's mind maelstrom of fog. Does Netherling bring plants Ganu Valley seeks? I do. Eat a plant, my friend. Eat a plant. Netherling brings rest at last. Ganu Valley's troubles become sustenance for Gurgle Glass. And big wheel of nature turns without hindrance. Boom. Right, I think... Or at least I'm hoping... that the other ones are all over here. So I do have one to turn in, a Cloud Top, which does have an Aetherite thing on it, which is why I picked it up. So, on EU it's always peak playing hours somewhere. Yeah, true. Moogle's generally been quiet, but even then it was still... It still wasn't great during Endwalker. Oh, we're in. Let's go. Limitless Blue. Let's show this Limitless Blue the power of the Limitless Red that is me, Jack Dante. Oh, they chose a cool-looking island. Made out of the Windfish's favourite rock. No, don't wait. Don't shout wake up at my party. Let's zoom out a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, this seems pretty straightforward so far. Okay, the dragon killers are readied. Oh, I assumed. Can we start attacking him soon? Alright, so he said that this is the bit where I need to get on his back. I guess at some point he's going to start rousing and we need to get off of him. Okay. Well, I mean, he does flip us back on if we don't get on. It's not much damage, but that's okay. The Vundu are trying to stop us, as they're wont to do. Okay. Oh. I got Cetacean Raged. Okay, this is a pretty neat fight. The music kind of sucks, but summoned children. Honestly, not entirely sure what we're attacking now, but I guess children. Let's go with children. Oh. May have backflipped off the edge. May have backflipped off the edge. Am I gone forever? I'm gone forever, okay. I mean... yeah, I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting. Okay, well, you know, they're handling this. They're handling this. They've got 3 competent DPSs. I'll just cheer them on from a distance. I really thought that the angle I had, I would be okay. And then just, nope. Absolutely, I don't know why I'd risk it. I thought I'd be a cool dude and backflip. Absolutely not the move. Cool. Well, I mean, they're probably close to killing this thing, right? Like 99% of the way there, yeah. I contributed for most of the work. I foresee me not getting any commendations during this fight. That bit, if you don't turn on the generator in the middle, it's a white. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Well, I mean, these guys fortunately seem to know what they're doing for the most part, so... Unlike me. Well, I mean, at least I'm not having to stare at Bismarck's nutsack. At least I can sort of still see the fight in, like, a reasonable capacity. Well, there they are. There they are attacking it, having a fun time. Well, they're only fighting its Corona. Bismarck begins to shudder. Whee! Oh, did they do it, or is this just a mid cutscene? Hey, look, I'm back, and no one else is here. I did this all by myself. Ha ha! I am the true warrior of light. Oh. I mean... Was that like a scripted loss, or did we just not do damage quickly enough? Oh, it was a script. Okay, no, we didn't do DPS quickly enough. I guess probably I contributed to that. Okay. I guess I'll take left if we're dividing. Stop slacking, please. I was dead! What do you want me to do? I fell off the island. Okay, so we killed its carapace in one shot that time. So I feel like... Yeah, I feel like I was still alive for that bit, so I wasn't the one slacking that time. Okay, well that's good to know. Ah! You know what I mean? Like, I'm still such a noob at this game, even after all this time. I don't... Oh, God damn it. I never know whether it's me doing it wrong or someone else. That... Oh, didn't see the tornado. God damn it. I'm looking... I'm looking at the ground and at the bar, and I'm not looking at these freaking tornadoes wandering around. Ah! God damn it. I mean, they don't do much damage, but it's still galling. Okay, so I guess that's the shot where if we don't get it up in time, he... I'm not going to backflip this time. Are we done, or? I guess we're done. Okay, the dragon killering him. Okay. Yeah, see? I was still alive. I was still alive. I made all the difference not dying. Haha! Goes to show. They needed the old dandy man indeed. Linchpin, they call me. Linchpin. Linchpin dandy. Is there any loot for that, or is the loot already dropped? I guess say it again then. If there was loot. Nope. Okay. I don't know if I did get a commendation. Hey. Oh no, skip the cutscene. No, dang it! I didn't mean to skip the cutscene. I was trying to hide the log window. It's fine. I'll watch it next time I finish that mission. I guess it was just I picked up the key from inside the dead. I'm hoping there wasn't much more that I skipped of that, because that'd be annoying. It's like, oh no, there's like a 5-minute echo after that tells you the whole backstory of the Vanu people. Forgive me, Jack. Had I known what was happening, mayhap I could have done something to stop them. Alas, Wedge and I were still sealed within the engine room and heard naught of the struggle until it was over. And now, for all our efforts, the Archbishop holds the very thing we sought to keep from him. Oh, what the fuck? What did I miss? Shit. There's clearly something... okay. There was clearly an important thing happened in that cutscene that I accidentally skipped. Dang it! But all is not lost, for we yet live, and we know their destination. Let us give chase and bring an end to their machinations. Ah, damn it. There's not a way to rewatch. I can New Game Plus, can't I? And watch... but that's only around we're born. That's only the big cutscenes. I can go watch it at the inn. Okay, let's go and do that, because I need to know what happened. God damn it, I was just trying to get rid of the chat window, and I accidentally pressed the wrong thing twice. I'll be back, Alphano. It's like all I saw was the key land on the ground, and I thought, okay, well, this is probably just going to be a boring cutscene where I just, well, a boring cutscene, just a nice sort of standard cutscene where I pick up my key and get on with it. And no, it's quite important. Okay, Heavensward main scenario. Cutscene 1. I want cutscene 7, I guess? Nope. Nope. Well, we've gone too far. Hang on. Oh, I think I just selected cutscene 7 again. Yep. Hang on. We need to see the key drop on the floor. I want to keep going back to here. Right. Bolt chain. Dang it. God damn it. Why don't the buttons that I want to work do the things that I want it to do? Right, look. Right, play cutscene 1 then. What's cutscene 1? Cutscene 1's not going to be the right one. Yeah, this is where we do it. So I want cutscene 2. So look, you go and pressing right doesn't do anything. You have to press X on it and then left and right. That's the bit where I'm getting stuck. So I'm like, okay, left and right's not working. Let me try R1 and L1, and then that's then skipping me to a completely different freaking campaign mission. Cool. Let's rewatch this then. Oh, okay. Oh, this is the failure cutscene, isn't it? Yeah, we've seen this one. Try that again. Okay, this is the one I skipped. Yeah, like the echo kicked in. Literally, the bit where I clicked skip cutscene, the echo kicked in. Oh, it's not even the echo, it's just my Chaos Emerald unlocking, isn't it? Because I beat another Primal. Okay, well, it didn't fill in the gap, but at least it's, at least now it's symmetrical again. This is fine. Oh, I can start hearing the voice again. Hi, Heidelin. Hi, Heidelin.
Darkness, light to none known. Hark. Receive a blessing, s'more.
Oh, I love s'mores. Where are the s'mores, Heidelin? Stop holding out on me. I hope being inside the belly of a whale and then being dropped on the floor hasn't broken it. Hey guys.
So falls the Lord of Mists, as did all others before him. How many times does this make, warrior of light? Ah, how much you have grown. Far beyond the limits of mere mortals.
Yes, I am pretty big.
He has what we seek.
That he does. The key to Azizla and the secrets of Allag.
Oh, the Allag. Ah.
I see you have regained the blessing of light, albeit at a fraction of its former strength.
I feel like if they could neutralize me so completely, so easily, they should really just stab me. I mean, that's what I would do if I was them. I'd be like, well, this is holding him in place better than I thought it would, so, giant sword to the chest. But no, they're going to do the typical villain thing of, nope, we've got what we came for. Yep. Bye.
My thanks to you, Asien. And to you as well, Warrior of Light, for saving us the effort of slaying Bismarck.
Yeah, in hindsight, we really should have just, like, kept an eye on Bismarck. And then just been like, look, they need to get the key out of there. Let's let them try. They'll either fail and problem solved, or they'll kill him, and we can then swoop in and wipe them out once they're all exhausted from fighting Bismarck. Also, it is called Bismarck, which is nice to know. Why didn't it float when I had it?
The key is within our grasp. The path to the heavens shall at last be laid bare.
Or is the Archbishop just like a germaphobe, and he's just like, I'm not touching that. It's been inside a whale. It's covered in ambergris. Oh, that's kind of neat. It's literally just a really, really sophisticated GPS. Your destination is 5,000 miles in this direction. Could just wait for the word to poop the key. Exactly. Plenty of options more than just kill. This is the problem. You've just, you've got Jack Dandy, the Primal Killer, Linchpin Dandy, the Warrior of Light, Primal Killer on your team. It's the only plan that you ever go to. Like, we can kill it, so let's.
By our deeds shall the wrongs of antiquity be righted, and man reclaim the reins of history.
And now we can see the laser shooting into the clouds. Knuckles is just like, what the hell was that? Oh, am I losing power again? Every friggin' week, I swear to God. That place looks nifty. Cool. And then Alphino apologized. And then I ran away to go and watch the cutscenes in an inn because I'm a moron. Okay, let's go back to. We'll go back to Alphino in a second. Let's go to Camp Cloud Top, and see if we can't get the rest of these Aetherite side quests done, because they're all quite easy. The other two were I got through them quite quickly. It's only if they tell me to go and do a dungeon that's a problem. Good evening, adventurer. What can I do for you? I have this frayed battle standard that you can have. A dude you knew died and you couldn't come. I think that was the premise of this plot. The battle standard of the Steel Vigil. Charged by flame, just as I remember. But there is much I wish I could not remember from that day. In the wake of the calamity, we were all but defenseless, and Savara and Suffet saw fit to give us no quarter. I should hope to never again see a battle so bloody. He laid down his life for our nation, for the few of us who escaped with our lives. A true leader to the bitter end, and I will always treasure the years spent under him. But I am not worthy of a memento such as this. Though she may be reluctant to accept it, Lady Laniette should be the one to have this. I realize she has her own way of dealing with grief, and I suspect that's why she did not attend the ceremony. But in all my years serving House Halinate, they have never been the sort to simply let go of family. Please, friend, take the battle standard to her. Okie dokie. I will do that. Things about to get good. You meet someone I like soon. Okay. Setting the bar. Setting the bar quite high for this new for this new whoever. Whee! Sploosh. No one fight me. I'm very brittle right now. I'm gonna get my car. And listen to my radio. That's not good for the suspension. Now, Lady Laniette, I'm interested in it because I think she's a triple triad lady. Hello there, Jack. Is there something you need? The battle standard from the Steel Vigil. You were too kind. This was the most unexpected gift. Chlodbaimt was a good man. We made fun of him for his name, given that it was wandered away from being Chodbaimt. Always ready to put his men's needs before his own. They were a family, and they mourned his loss like a family, though I wish they had not followed his Francel's example. He insisted on a post in central Caerthus, hoping to avenge him Sunday, and Chlodbaimt's men were quick to follow suit. But I refused to dwell on the past. Grieving at gatherings year after year, it's not what he would have wanted. He would have me live my own life and fulfill my own dreams. His passing was a great loss to our house, but such hardships are not unfamiliar to us. Times are hard, but we will move forward, and in time, Ishgard will become the great nation he believed it could be, free of war. I will take that one. Yeah. And then... Oh, will you triple triad me? Master Dan, it's good to see you. Again, triple triad? I'd love to, but my duties demand the full attention of President House. We can play later. I have to do all of these friggin' missions, aren't I? Well, I just don't want to play triple triad until all their missions are done. Fine. Clipped wings. Excuse me, Jack, a moment of your time, if I may. I recently received a special request for assistance with zoological research, but I'm at a loss as I'm at a loss as to how to fulfill it. Are you familiar with Gallicats? They bear a striking resemblance to kittens, but with wings. An acquaintance of mine is writing an article on their physiology and requires a sample of their wings for her work. Their sweet appearance belies a rather nasty temperament, and if it were simply a matter of slaying them, I would handle it myself. The problem, however, is that taking a proper sample requires a delicate touch, a certain finesse that is beyond the capabilities of my men and myself. Because they're so fragile, you may not obtain a proper sample from the first you fell, but I have no doubt that man of your talents can procure a wing of immaculate quality. I realise this is a rather personal request, but I will be further in your debt. Okay, so I obtain an untorn Gallicat wing. That's fine. Was there another... I'm sure there was another mission. Oh, maybe I haven't done it yet. Hem. Because I think I'm still only on... Oh no, I only need to do one more. This is the last one. So I just need to keep killing them until I get one, I guess. Kitty cat, kitty cat. Ooh, girly, girly cat, girly cat. Dum dum dum. Ah, there we go. I did it. Yeah, it really isn't like that much of a bother to unlock these currents. It's much less work than I thought it was going to be when I saw what you had to do for them. So it's almost to the point where it's so little work, it's a wonder they still make you bother. How fares your search? I realize obtaining an undamaged Gellicat wing is no easy feat. Aye, what an extraordinary find. I am pleased to see your persistence has paid off. With this, she can resume her work on Cloudkin. Ah, how forgetful of me not to mention it sooner. This sample is meant for Atelion, the renowned naturalist. She's hard at work on a new article for Neorsian Geographic, and requested a sample be delivered with utmost haste. You can be sure she will hear it was the incomparable Jack Dandy who made it possible her latest work with Cloudkin. Boom. So now I can fly slowly, but it's better than nothing. Alright, let's go back to all OK Zandu. I'm guessing it's not. I'm calling it OK Zandu. I'm guessing it's Oxandu. I don't know why they'd call it OK Zandu. That's a silly name. Where is... over there. Whee! Where do we go? I have no time for walkways and bridges. I am a man of the sky now. And as such, it's only a matter of time before I accidentally fling myself to the abyss again. As I am wont to do. Ah, I get a little wind-up Sid. Nice. Though we failed to secure the key, we must not forget that we succeeded in ridding the realm of another primal, and prevented the Vanu's lands from being consumed in so doing. The Zundu, at least, shall be glad of our deeds this day. Let's go and inform Chief Sonu of our victory. Sid and the others will need a moment to attend to the Enterprise, besides. Oh, I thought we were going to walk over, but we're cutscening it.
Wait, something is amiss.
Oh, no, not the... Wait, who are these guys? They Guardians?
Imperial troops.
Oh, they are Guardians, okay.
And they have already secured the area.
Oh, hey!
Reveal yourselves at once!
It's a new dude! He's a big beetle. Let's go say hi. We can kill all of these people anyway, so it's not like we shouldn't.
And there I was, expecting more beastmen. Who are you?
Regula Van Hydrus.
I thought Ishgardians responsible for the disappearance of our scouts, but I see now that I was mistaken.
Oh, God. It's a World of
Just
Warcraft
as Warrior
character.
observed. The Warrior of Light is wont to appear at the most inopportune times.
Oh, wait, no, I think I saw this guy... There was a cutscene of this guy putting on his crown. And I remember thinking that the crown was too small for his head. And I still think that. This is Varys Vos Gelvers. Is he the Emperor? I guess he might be.
The Warrior of Light? He who bested Van Baelsar?
It would seem that the famous hero of Eosia seeks Azizlar as well. Hardly unexpected. The secrets of the Allagan's power to bind icons to their will could scarcely fail to interest the scions of the Seventh Dawn. You know as well as we what will ensue should these insatiable creatures be allowed to roam free. That their very existence threatens the life of this star. We but disagree on the solution to the problem.
Yeah. We just kill the primals, and you feel like you should just kill everyone else. And then eventually... Like, I mean, I guess you're not wrong, in a sense that if you kill all the beast people, they can't summon more primals. But in the similar sort of way, like, if we murder everyone, no one can catch COVID, thus solving the COVID problem. You know, it's very much a scorched earth approach.
Genocide has ever been the Empire's favored recourse. And that is why we will continue to oppose your every attempt to claim Eorzea.
You do not hesitate to speak your mind, even when your every word could be your last.
I kill primals daily. Are you stronger than a primal? Because if not, shut up.
Alas, your sentiments betray the narrowness of your view. The fate of Eorzea and its inhabitants is of little concern next to the fate of the world. 'Tis my solemn charge as Emperor to bring the Icons to heel.
Okay, he's the Emperor.
If this requires the extermination of certain elements, then so be it.
It really doesn't, though. I mean, honestly, the primals really aren't that difficult to beat if you just try. Have you tried?
No, don't! They are not his thralls!
If only we could do something. Instead of just standing here and watching.
Where did that come from?
Take cover!
Hey, Lucia! She contributing to the plot for a change. Ah, and she's got her own Reaper!
Your Radiance, we must withdraw.
Oh, is that their Death Star? Yeah. Yeah, their ships are a bit cooler than ours.
We shall meet again, warrior of light. On that you have my word.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, they're like, oh, she's shown up in her, I think they're called Reapers, the big robot, the Magitech, armor. And it's like, well, you've still got the giant airship that can shoot bigger blasts. Why are you retreating? Just blow her up with the airship. You know, whatever. He's cool. He seems... I don't know what it is. He seems out of place.
Garlemald too has designs on Azizlar. But why would the Emperor himself elect to lead the expedition?
I called him a World of Warcraft character, and he really does. He doesn't look right compared to everyone else. I don't. Yeah. Maybe his design changes later on. I don't know. Cool. Yeah, I made jokes about us doing like a trench run on that thing when Sid was talking about it. So is this where we finally learn that Lucia's Garlemald? I mean, she has her own. Ah, the armor. I had it sent here as a precautionary measure. It's my personal one. Don't ask how I got it. Never in my wildest dreams did I think it would stand less than 20 paces from the Emperor of Garlemald. God, they've all got such hard-to-remember names. Varys Vos Galvus in the flesh. I assume the commander that's accompanied him must be the legatus of whom the Centurion spoke. Ah, forgive me. This is neither the time nor the place for such idle speculation. Pray return to the Enterprise at once. It occurs to me that our friends may have run afoul of Imperial forces as well. I have yet to apprise Chief Sono of all that has occurred. But once I have, we will rejoin you at the airship. Okay. Woo! This way. Were either of those two the person that you, the person you like, or is there still the person you like to come? Because, I mean, they were okay. Thank the 12 that you're alive, Jack. When the battleship appeared and fired on the village, we feared the game was up for you and Alphino. What in the seven hells happened out there? First, the Archbishop turns up with the Asian in tow. Now the goddamn Emperor pays us a visit. What is this, a procession of notable bastards? Who's next? The Keeper of the Seventh Bloody Gate? Estinian shows up. It's like, hello! What's that about notable bastards? Notable bastards? No one's so notable, Master Garland. I'm happy to report that the Zundu were overjoyed to learn of Bismarck's demise. Chief Sonu sends his warmest regards, Jack. There was much talk of westerly winds. Miraculously, none suffered lasting harm during the raid. It would seem the Zundu were taken entirely unawares and wisely chose to offer no resistance. I sense they have no more fear from the Empire, for the present at least. Had the Emperor truly been intent on their extermination, Oxzundu would have already been levelled. Plainly, Varys is only interested in reaching Aziz La. Speaking of which, you're all ready to continue the chase. The Empire is as well, shall we? I said that in a weird way, but you got the meaning of what I was saying. Look, I can get a little wind-up sit now. A little wind-up sit to go with my wind-up Alphino. I'll soon have a whole... I'll have a whole little... I've got an Animo as well. I'll have like a whole little entourage that I can not play the minigame with. I've got a cane. I can pretend he's Estinian. It's fine. And my wind-up gentleman. I like that Hildebrand doesn't even get his own... doesn't get his name. He just gets his title. Let's have Sid follow us for a little bit. Sorry, weird crystal snail thing I got in a loot box. Cool. I have run out of food again. Let's eat a pretzel. Lest you wonder, Wedge was able to calculate the heading indicated by the beam of light emitted by the key. If Aziz La lies in that direction, we'll find it. In hindsight, it probably would have been made more sense for the Archbishop to have like taken the key away and then used it in a place where we wouldn't be able to see the beam of light and like triangulate its location off the back of it, but whatever. The Soleil may have a lead on us, but she's no enterprise. We'll catch them, you'll see. Now let's go then. Let's have a cool aerial battle. Yeah, there's just something very podunk about our, I don't know if that's the right word, but about our airships compared to the Emperor's airships.
I did not think that I would ever have occasion to pilot a suit of Magitech armor again. Least of all under these circumstances.
Yeah, insignificance, lack of importance. Meh. Ah, yeah, there we go.
My full name is Lucia Go Junius, and I was born a citizen of Garlemald.
What a shocking revelation that we didn't learn about, like, 20 hours ago, thanks to Triple Triad. I am shocked.
Ah, that explains it.
When we first met in Ishgard, I very nearly called you Livia.
Livia? Livia Sastunius? The tribunus who served under Gaius van Baelsar?
Aye, she was my sister, though we spent little time together. After our parents were killed in an uprising, we were sent to live in different households, setting us on separate paths.
Oh, did I kill her sister?
Livia felt at home on the battlefield and chose to become a soldier, while I underwent training to become a spy.
Then, Ishgard was...
My mission. It was believed that Allagan relics of great worth were stored in the vault, and I was sent to investigate. Though I was given little information at the time, I now suspect I was searching for the key we but recently lost. And then I met Sir Emmerich. 'Twas his usefulness to my mission which prompted me to approach him, but I soon found myself drawn to him for other reasons.
He is a rather dandy fellow. I don't blame
you. He
you.
was a prisoner of his past, judged for his heritage as a bastard son of the Archbishop. Yet unlike my sister and I, he did not curse his fate. He simply rose above it. In time, I came to realize that I had found a man worth following, and a new home besides. And when I subsequently confessed all to Sir Emmerich, he was good enough to accept me into his service.
I do not question your loyalty to Sir Emmerich. It is your loyalty to your sister which concerns me.
I have long been of the opinion that those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Oh, that's unfortunate, because my superpower is dwelling in other people's pasts. Like, it's literally the main thing I do when I meet new people, is I look into their past. Uncontrollably sometimes.
My sister fought for her convictions and for those she held dear. So do I. So must we all.
Okay, I think I definitely killed her sister. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure that's the lady she's talking about. Okay, cool.
Well, I, for one, am happy to welcome a fellow Garlean to our merry band. Especially one who can make Magitech armor sing.
Chief, we should be getting close.
Once we break through those clouds, we'll be right where the light was pointing. Right where Azizlar should be.
Hold on, everyone!
No one took any steps to hold on to anything. Just like, oh, this is fine. The floor's quite grippy. We should be okay.
Look! I think that's it!
I don't see the other airship.
Chief, is that Allagan? Aye. There's no mistaking their handiwork.
What was that?
Oh.
Some sort of barrier.
That's fine, just keep flying into it.
Oh, Chief! She's breaking up!
She can't take it!
Auxiliary propeller!
I've been waiting forever to do a Star Trek reference since they called it the Enterprise. It's only
Sid,
taken...
It's no use! We must return to Ishgard and find another way!
It's taken like 100 hours.
God damn it all! Why do the Allagans always have to make everything so bloody complicated?
Well, that's anticlimactic. Okay, I guess you need to... I guess just flying in without the key doesn't help us. Ah, and we barely finished repairing the damage incurred during our sky fishing trip. On the other hand, any landing you can walk away from, as they say. I can only presume the Solel passed through the barrier unscathed. That would certainly explain why the Vanu called it a key. Okay, so do we need to find another one then, or are we screwed? He's going to have to wait outside. Assuming Sid is correct, and I have no reason to think that he is not, the Vanu's key is required to pass through the barrier protecting Aziz's La. But even without it, we must find a way to reach the Isle. I shall have everyone convene at the seat of the Lord Commander, that we might discuss how best to proceed. As before, make yourself known to the guardsman when you arrive, and he will show you in. Neat. What's up, Wedge? I wonder, does she have a name? I think, yeah, it does, because I've seen it. I've seen that suit of armor in the premiums and the Square store online. I just assumed it was made for the store, but I guess not. So that means someone's got a red one of those somewhere. Because I've been tempted to buy that one a bunch of times. But the fact that it's just a different color palette version of one that I already have has meant that I haven't, because even I have a limit to spending silly money on things. It's it's not very high, but it's there. That man has a pretzel wand. That's all. He has a pretzel wand, as we were. Oh, look at this team. Who needs the Science of the Seventh Dawn? We've got these guys. Are we going to go and find the rest of the Scions at any point? Like, we've been ignoring them quite a bit, haven't we?
In summary, the Isle owes its lofty position to the industry of the Allegans. And we can be all but certain that the Archbishop and his cronies are enjoying the view from its top.
I see.
If we are to join them, we will first need to pass through the Isle's Etheric Barrier, which is, alas, more powerful than most. Powerful enough to make a mess of a perfectly good airship at any rate. As far as I can gather, the barrier mechanism draws ether from the surrounding environment and polarizes its elemental aspect to produce what is, in effect, a wall of lightning.
It seems plain that without the Vanu's key, any attempt to reach the Isle will end in failure.
Alas, the key was careless enough to leave without us, and I don't think the Vanu keep a spare.
Master Garland, based on your experience, is there no other way that we might breach the barrier?
Well, in the past, we've beaten similar barriers by nullifying them with elemental converters. But the one we're up against this time dwarfs aught we've encountered before. The Enterprise simply isn't large enough to bear the requisite amount of crystals.
But if the Empire's after it as well, couldn't we just, like, let them get in and then follow them in?
I'm reminded of the quantity needed to nullify Leviathan's command of the sea. A veritable mountain of crystals that could only be borne by lashing two galleons together to form a twin vessel, scarcely able to propel itself, much less fly.
That said, we're not without options. If it isn't feasible to nullify the barrier, we might try piercing it.
How?
We create a ram of condensed ether and mount it on my ship. There's just one problem. I don't have the faintest idea how to build one. It's going to take a true authority in the field, I reckon.
Would that the Archons were still with us.
But yesterday evening, I chanced to find Mistress Tataru in unusually high spirits. Assuming I understood her excited ramblings correctly, she has acquired a clue, pointing to the whereabouts of one such individual.
Excited ramblings, drunken drivel, you know, same difference. Tataru's been on the sauce again.
Truly?
Ha! Fortune favors the righteous, eh? Well then, let's not waste any time. While you go and look for our missing friend, I'll work on modifying the Enterprise. Her hull will need reinforcing to bear the punishment, not to mention a mount for the ram. Just you wait, my pretty. By the time I'm finished, you'll be an airship reborn.
Neat. Right, well, let's go and speak with Tataru and see who see who she stumbled across. Welcome back, Jack. How goes the mission? Did you manage to catch up with the Archbishop and his cronies? How dare you? Just explaining everything. Whale! Archbishop, castle in the sky, the Emperor. So you finally arrived at Aziz's Lair, only to find your way barred by some sort of barrier. Typical. It's not all bad news. I've made progress in the search for our friends. Don't worry, Jack. We'll get to Aziz's Lair yet. Okay, well, I mean, I did just say, like, well, we're going to find our Scion friends, and I guess they've, yeah, look. Speak of the devil. When you fled the Victory Feast, you used the ancient watercourse beneath the city, right? Well, shortly after things went back to normal in Uldar, I asked Marshal Terrapin to have the tunnels searched. A logical place to look. It was there that you lost contact with Minfilia, Thancred, and Istola, was it not? Dare I ask what the Marshal found? Oh, no, dare I ask what the Marshal found? All of their corpses. Sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I don't actually know. Pippin's message just said that there had been a discovery, and they would come to the Hall of Flames at our earliest convenience. I do not think what it might be. We shall depart at once. Tataru, let Orange know that to join us in Uldar. He will wish to be present as well. Yes, sir. Just as soon as I finish this drink. Now, Tataru. Oh. I'll get it in a sippy cup to go. To Uldar. Let's see which of our many friends we found. Wait, is the Hall of Flames the... Oh, yeah, it is. It's the building that's right next to the Aetheryte Crystal. And we shall run. Pippin! I can't remember what Pippin's voice is, so hopefully he's voiced. We're grateful for your assistance, Marshal Terrapin. He's not got a normal... I can't remember what Pippin's voice was like. You saved her grace and father both. 'Tis the least I can do to repay you. Forgive my impatience, Marshal, but your missive mentioned a discovery. Yes, of course. As per your request, I had my men scour the waterways almost immediately. Oh no, almost immediately, we encountered a difficulty. An entire section of the tunnel had collapsed. With the Mineral Concerns Corporation, however, we were able to remove the rubble, which yielded the battered bodies of a dozen Crystal Braves. It was corpses, I was right. Go on. Be at ease, Master Alphino. Your friends were not among the deceased. That alone is cause for hope. And then there is this. Oh, it's Ishtola's twig. Yes, her wand. I mean, you can call it that if you want to. It's a twig. It's Ishtola's wand. I had assumed as much. If I may, Marshal. I can't remember Oriange's voice either. He appears so infrequently, and every time he talks, I forget what he sounds like. Sounds like he's charging up an eye-beam. 'Tis as I did surmise. Judging by the etheric imprint that lingereth yet upon this wand, it hath assuredly been employed in the casting of a most uncommon magic. Namely... The very first that man did conceive to traverse great distances, and the ancient precursor to all methods of travel that utilize the life stream. Flow. The spell entaileth the reduction of the corporeal form into its constituent aether, that the caster might enter the life stream and ride its currents thereby. Unlike the teleportation magics of modern times, it requireth not a lengthy incantation. That, Y'shtola should choose to employ such a spell, bespeaketh the need for haste. All of which would suggest that she'd managed to escape. Would it that simple? Know that the scholars of Sharlayan forbade the use of this spell, and with good reason. You come back all kind of discombobulated. It's like a teleporter malfunction. The caster hath but limited control over his course. For every mage who came safe unto his destination, another would be set adrift in the life stream, never to emerge. No, it is like a transport malfunction. We're getting loads of Star Trek references today. What? No, you can't mean. Be not downcast, my friends, for there is yet hope. 'Tis like that Y'shtola's path have left traces in the life stream. Could we but follow these from the point at which the magic was invoked, we may yet find her. To the Silda excavation site, then. Our thanks to you for your aid, Marshal. Do not mention it. I shall pray for Lady Y'shtola's safe return. Nod. Cool. So we're going to go in the sewers. I'm going to click on a sparkly thing. And then we're going to know where Y'shtola is. That's cool. I've missed Y'shtola. She's neat. She's my cat lady friend. I met in Limpsa. Where am I going? Blackbrush. And if she's lost her stick, maybe now she's got a better... Well, I guess we could return her stick to her, but maybe she's found a new wand. One that's, slightly more impressive than... It is literally just a twig. Like, it's a twig that she's put some masking tape around a bit of it as a handle. She lives on a budget, that cat. Evidence of Y'shtola's passage will have been made faint by time, but mayhaps some few scant traces yet remain to guide our steps. Nod. What are we doing? Oh, he's putting on his, I don't know, night vision goggles? What are they? I'm just imagining like the Terminator, kind of like squares focusing on all the things. Target. Okay. Keep me in suspense, why don't you? Or why don't you? Kind of mumbled his name there, but it's fine. The trail leadeth to the north and east, unto the bosom of the Twelveswood. Are you certain? Aye, there is no mistake. Thither hath Y'shtola journeyed. And yet the Gridanians have reported no sightings. You must take this to mean she is still adrift. If it be so, I do fear for our friend. Contrary to its name, the Lifestream is more akin to a raging torrent. Linger over long in the midst of this maelstrom, and the aether that formeth one's soul shall surely be scattered, ne'er to be reformed. Oh, let's keep it optimistic, Oriange. We have no time to waste, Oriange. Oh, we have no time to waste. Oriange, pray explore all possible options for reversing the effects of this forbidden magic. Jack, Tartaru, we three shall press on to Gridania and petition the Elder Seedseer's aid. Yeah, Canu can do something, probably. She's kind of magic-y, isn't she? And, all else fails, I'll ask Hydelin. She can utter a few words at this point. Like, every 3 words I can get out of her. I'm sure I can piece together the way to do this. It is said that the elementals perceive the live stream. Oh, it's said that the elementals perceive the live stream. If, as we suspect, Y'shtola is still adrift in its midst, they may be able to find her, but if we are to appeal to them for assistance, we must needs do so through their chosen, the Padjal. Okay. It is imperative, therefore, that we speak with Kani Senna without delay. Is she the Padjal? Let's have a Ratatouille. Why not? Useless to what I'm doing, but it's the 3% XP that I want, really, more than anything else. I've already requested an audience with the Elder Seatseer. She will receive us in the Lotus Stand presently. We need but speak with the Conjurer yonder to be admitted. So it's the silent... Yep, silent Conjurer, who can never shut up. Yeah. I mean, it's just like one phrase, but it's more for someone who's called Silent. It's more that it's too much. Be welcome, my friends, and speak freely. I gather your suit will admit no delay. No, we're not here about dry cleaning. It will not, my lady. Pray forgive the abrupt nature of our request, but it is a matter of life and death. Teleporter malfunction. And I see. I see. There you go. As you say, we must needs act swiftly if we are to free Y'shtola from the ungentle pull of the life stream. And as you have surmised, we cannot do this unaided. However...
In requesting the Elemental's assistance to find Y'shtola, you must needs be aware of one difficulty. A difficulty born of the fundamental difference between man and Elemental.
Is it the shoes?
That being...
In perceiving the world around him, man relies upon senses such as sight and sound. For the sake of convenience, he gives names to such things as are near or dear to him. Being formed of pure ether, however, such concepts are foreign to the elementals. Instead, they perceive by observing the ebb and flow of the energies of life. So profound a division cannot be bridged with simple discourse. The elementals' voices stir not the air, and thus reach not our ears, while our words are but wind to them. Though we seers can commune with them through feelings, naught that we can impart will serve to aid them in identifying Y'shtola. Nay, they must needs be presented with ether which is akin to hers. If you could but find a family member.
I mean, we know her mum.
Oh! I know just the person! Y'shtola has a sister who came to live in Gridania. She told me about her once.
Okay. I mean, we know her mum. I mean, her mum's just over at the pub, isn't she?
Oh, that is most fortunate indeed. Pray, seek this sister out then, and bring her to Evershade. There, we shall petition the Great One's aid in finding your lost companion.
Okay. Well, the sister's fine as well. Again, I'm pretty sure her mum is just over at the Hidden Sands? What was the pub in the other place called? If memory serves, Y'shtola's sister name is Ymhitra. Yes, Ymhitra. Oh, you know her, do you? Well, then that ought to make things easier. Anyway, she spends most of her time around Apkalu Falls, from what I can recall. Let's look for her there. I think I can teleport straight to Apkalu Falls. Nope, no I can't. Where am I going then? I can teleport to the... Oh, that's inside. Never mind. Never mind. Let's go to the amphitheatre. I'll just walk over. I can check in at the achievement vendor on the way. See how many points I've got. See if I can afford a new mount. Because I got a few achievements, I think. I have 8. Yay! That's enough. That's enough for a mount. So I got the Magitech Claw. So I can get a metal tuning foil. When striking it's a low tone, which opens a temporary rift in the world, allowing a personal Ahriman, and your personal Ahriman only, to pass through to this plane. Or I can get a Behemoth. Or... Actually, there was another one. Was that it? Okay, so I can get a Behemoth or an Ahriman. What does an Ahriman look like? Because I know what the Behemoth looks like. The Behemoth looks kind of cool. But I always forget what the Ahriman looks like. I guess I don't hate that. Yeah, why not? It's silly. The Behemoth's cool, but... Oh wait, no, I would have made space. Where is it? Oh, Voidal Resonator. Boosh. I can now summon the Ahriman mount. Ymhitra. Do I know that? I guess I must have spoken to her at some point, but I guess I didn't know that she was his sister. Her sister. I just give her the same voice. Greetings, Jack. What brings you here today? I see you have companions. Lady Ymhitra, it is an honor to meet you. My name is Alphino Lavilia, and this is Tataru Taru. I'm Jack Dante. You're Y'shtola's sister. So you are my sister's comrades in the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. When I heard that your people were being pursued, I desperately sought to reach Y'shtola, but all mine efforts were to no avail. Now I know why. A forbidden spell of all things, that she should be so reckless. But what's done is done. I thank you for bringing word to me. Needless to say, I should be glad to help. Though we were born of different mothers, our veins course with the same father's blood. I hope that this will be enough for the elementals. Come, let us make for the Evershade at once. I still feel like her mum's probably the better, genetic match. But I guess her sister's over here, so that's fine. I mean, we could get both. Double up, you know. Why are these children here?
Let us begin.
If we can't get Y'shtola back, do you want to be new Y'shtola? Is that too soon? Let's wait and see whether we can get her back first before we start
Raya-O,
talking about that.
Arun, if you would.
Maybe if I'd started in Gridania, I might know who these two children are.
Hearken to me, O great ones. Pray give yourselves to the life stream, a drifting soul to find.
Please, Y'shtola. Please come back to us.
Imagine if we just pulled out a different cat person.
There.
Just like, you know, it's an ancient forbidden spell. It's like some Mikote who's been stuck in the live stream for decades and just like, oh, thank God, finally. One of my ancestors, you saved me.
Now.
I did wonder what the over-under was going to be, that she was going to be wearing any clothes. Because I thought, she's been turned herself into, like, pure energy. Her clothes really shouldn't have made the trip. And I was right, they didn't. But they are conveniently hiding all of the important bits with that sparkle, aren't they? Ah, she's like a little Mikote burrito now.
A room has been readied at the roost. Pray, bear her thither at once.
Oh, maybe we've saved her body, but not her mind. So what happened to... Wasn't Thancred with Y'shtola? What happened to him? Is he in the Aether somewhere as well? He's like, hello! You go find my uncle. Hook me out too.
All that remains is to pray, my friends.
Oh, the next mission is going to make me click on Y'shtola and use the pray emote. I know, I've seen this pattern. Thank you, children. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate your magics. See, they should be called the Silent Conjurers or whatever. They don't say a word. Oh, Y'shtola. Oh, Taru's been drinking again. Just seeing her face again, it's... Oh, I've been so worried. Okay, well, I guess she wakes up, given the picture for this quest. Y'shtola is resting within an inn room. Though she's still unconscious, the signs are positive. The conjurers say she is in sound health and should awaken before long. Isn't that wonderful? Now, while we wait for Y'shtola to wake up, I thought I'd take the opportunity to finish my little surprise for her. It's something I've been working on for a while now, in the hope that she'd one day return to us. It wants for just a couple more items before it's ready. I've already placed orders for these items. Could I ask you to retrieve them for me? One is with the Leatherwork Guild, another is with the Conjurers Guild. Speak with Mistress Giva and Brother Isumyan, and they ought to take care of you. You made her her clothes too. That's timely, if you have. Because, yeah, she is butt naked right now. And I knew that there was a Y'shtola Heavensward edition, because, again, I think there's a card for it. So... I don't think this is when she changes jobs, though. I know at some point Y'shtola changes jobs from a astrologian to a sorcerer? Oh, yeah. I think that's a couple of expansions, but anyway. What is it? I'm a busy woman, so be quick about it. If you wish to place an order, speak with Randall. It retrieve an order for Mistress Tartaru, you say? You come at a good time. I finished up moments ago. It was no small coup working it to her specifications, but I did it nonetheless. Payment has already been settled. However, did that girl come by chimerical hide anyway? You need either balls of steel or a bottomless coin purse, and it seemed to me that she had neither. Unfortunately, my balls are very metallic. You can hear them jangle as I run. That's right, that's what that noise is. TMI. Well, you shouldn't have mentioned them then. Where are we going? What up, Biddy? Don't know why, I just like the sound of your name. Isumyan. Who are you? You're a cat boy? Let's go, cat boy. You come to Steelgate Fane, the home of the Conjurers Guild. How may I assist you? Ah, yes. Mistress Tartaru's order. As requested, it has been sanctified in the sight of the elementals. I don't know what she intends for the staff, but it is a most singular artifact. Even one possessed of my experience would struggle to wield it. Where is Tartaru getting all this cash? Has she been gambling? God damn it, Tartaru. You have an addiction. She must be stopped. Ah, you're back. You have the items, I hope. Ooh, it's precisely as I requested. A perfect match for the other pieces. Truly, Gaver is a master among masters. And the staff completes the surprise. Thank you so much, Jack. I can't wait to see what Y'shtola thinks of the surprise. Lest you wonder, she's doing very well, and the Conjurers have left her in her sister's care. Let's go and pay them a visit, shall we? Let's indeed.
Y'shtola! I'm so glad you're back!
Tataru. You are safe. Thank the 12.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine and dandy.
Something has changed about you, Alphino. Or mayhap the change is with me. I seem to sense the ether around me more keenly than before.
I am pleased to see you well again. Do you feel strong enough to talk?
Worry not. I am well enough.
Yes, you have served your purpose to the plot persist, and now be gone with you. We shall speak of you no more.
What befell you after you fled the feast? We were told that there had been a tunnel collapse.
That was my doing. I brought the tunnel down that you and Minfidia might escape. At the last moment, I invoked a teleportation magic, in hopes of spiriting Thancred away at least. Needless to say, it did not go quite as planned, and I found myself adrift in the live stream.
Yeah, again, where is Thancred in all of this? Is he just trapped in the live stream too?
The others? Where are they? Did they not escape?
They remain unaccounted for. You were the only one we have been able to find. I am truly sorry. It was the Crystal Braves who pursued you that day. My hubris that led to our undoing.
No apologies are necessary, Alpha No. You are not to blame for what occurred. Know that were our comrades here, they would commend you for keeping the light of hope alive.
Don't worry. The others are alive and well, I'm sure of it. We just need to find them.
Indeed, Tataru. Let us find our friends and rebuild the Scions.
Ha! There is the Alpha No I remember. And I feel much the better for his return. 'Tis time I arose.
That reminds me. I have a change of clothes for you. I don't like to boast, but I made them myself. I learned how to weave while we were in Ishgard, you see.
Oh, you didn't make them yourself. I picked them up from the leather worker for you. Or did she just make, like, the shoes or something? Oh, if I was a lady warrior of light, would I be able to stay and watch her change? Or do they always kick you out? Oh yeah, now she's got a proper staff. She's not just got like a little twig.
Tataru has apprised me of all that took place in the aftermath of the assassination plot. It would seem I have been away for some while.
Yeah, we really didn't make any effort to find you until just recently. And then we found you almost immediately. Like, it was, you know, if we had bothered like 3 or 4 months ago, we might have found you straight away. And you know. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, much and more happened during your absence. At present, we seek to follow the Archbishop to Azisla.
And you want for some manner of etheric ram to pierce the floating isle's protective barrier?
We do. Might you be able to furnish us with one?
A means to prise open a hole in an Allagan barrier. And one large enough to admit an airship, no less. Nay, I lack the knowledge to devise such a weapon.
Alright, back in the live stream with you then.
But I know of one who could. A leading figure in the field of etheric research, and one of the finest scholars ever to grace Sharlayan. Matoya, my former master.
Okay. Is this going to be easy to find, or is this going to be one of those we must embark on a 12-part quest to find them? Or is it literally, let me just call them on their link shell and get them to come over? Tell us more, Y'shtola. In my youth, I had the honor of studying under Matoya. In the field of etheric research, she was without rival. I have no doubt that her knowledge will be of aid to our cause. The question is, will she share it with us? My master has ever been willful, the gods forbid anyone disagrees with her. When the Gallian Empire first marched upon Eorzea some 15 years ago, the denizens of Sharlayan were summoned back to the motherland. However, Matoya refused to join the exodus. To this day, she lives a hermit's life on the fringes of the abandoned city. So it is the Dravanian hinterlands that we must go, to the place of my birth. Though Alisale and I were born in Sharlayan, our days there were short. We remained only until the exodus, and I have not returned since. Oh, so it's to be a homecoming then. As fine a reason as any to go to Sharlayan, and it would afford us the opportunity to pay my master a visit. I believe you will have mistaken our primary objective, Y'shtola. At any rate, the journey will take us through largely unknown territory. Let us first return to Ishgard and make our preparations. Nod. Annoyingly, I don't have flight unlocked in the hinterlands, so that's cool. I guess we'll nope, that's the beginning and end of that sentence. Hey Y'shtola, welcome to Ishgard. It's awful here. It's grey and cold and everyone's sad. Sharlayan is situated in the Dravanian hinterlands. To get there, we must strike west and traverse the breadth of the Dravanian forelands. Make no mistake, it will be a grueling journey. The party should comprise of Jack, Y'shtola, and myself. Tartaru, pray remain in Ishgard and continue the search for our missing friends. Can we bring Estilian with us? He's cool, he's got nothing to do at the moment. Yes, sir. First, let us make for the tail feather. Right, bye, Tap. Wait, hang on, is the tail feather? Yeah. You really need to start giving me more cash for each of these missions, because I'm not making much money doing story missions, I've got to be honest. I feel like I should have, well, more. Like, I feel like 4 hours, well, 3 hours of story missions should give me more than 24,000 gil. A long soak in the life string, followed by a long journey. I would not recommend it to anyone. But rest assured, my strength is returning to me. I shall be back to my former self ere long. Cool. Ooh. Nope. 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 I guess I'll take the materia then. Cool. I believe I'm sufficiently rested. Let us continue west to Sharlayan. Once we descend the mountain path, we will arrive at the Dravanian hinterlands. From there, it is but a short distance to the city. Be warned that we shall be passing through Gnath territory. We must needs be wary of them and the dragons both. Yes, I know. Don't show up and, talk to us like you know everything. We've done all this. Yeah, Y'shtola. We're dab hands at this now. Where do I have to go? So where am I going? Over there. Okay. Is there not a closer Etherite? Yeah. There is. I was going to say, considering we're passing through here, I don't think there's any point in unlocking... Oh no, I can check out my new mount. Look at me. Yeah. Oh, it's even better with the skirt on. Right, that's how I get up. I need to go this. Let's get outside in the light. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a good look. That is a good look. Even better if you could fly. But no matter. Yeah, considering we're just passing through here, there's not much point in me unlocking flying in this one. I'll do it eventually, you know. Go through and clear out all of the flying dudes, because at some point I'm going to need to do the triple triads here. And they, if previous experience is any indicator, will not play card games with me until I have done their various side activities. Oh man, this thing's so slow. Being able to fly over everything and just travel from A to B, it's such a luxury. And you don't know what you're missing until it's gone. Through the gate, onto the hinterlands.
To the Thaliac River, where to the melted snows of Abelathia's spine eventually find their way by means of 1,000 silver streams.
Neat.
Whose waters have long nourished the Travanian hinterlands, and so provided for a settlement of learned souls from across the northern seas. To the city of Sharlayan, that great seat of knowledge now abandoned by her keepers, they came.
That's cool. I think New Sharlayan, or Old Sharlayan, is like one of the new towns, isn't it, in Endwalker? I guess that's where they went back to when they abandoned this Sharlayan, which is the New Sharlayan, and I guess it went back to the old one. No. Matur dwells on the far side of the Thaliac River. Let us search for a crossing. Okay, so I guess that's our sort of final destination. Neat. I might call it soon, I'm going to be honest, because I've got a bit of a headache. So I might finish this quest and then call it a night. I was going to go for a bit longer, but... well, as I said, the good thing is, I say good, is that in unlocking this new area, I can... I say that, actually. Let's see what unlocks when I've... because what I could do is, if I have time before next Friday, is jump on, unlock the Aether Currents here, and then immediately have access to flying. But I have or at least I will have immediate access to flying once I get far enough in the storyline. However, that does rely on me having any quests unlocked here, of which I currently don't. Esperite Magitech Vanguard G3? I guess the Empire here still. That makes sense, actually, because they did say that they left because of the Empire, so... oh, it's Slick Tricks the Gobnanimus. What a wonderful sightseeing tour of silly names. I guess I'm going to that little hut. Yeah. Well, let's go here, and then maybe there'll be a Etheric shard or something I can attune to. Now, I am unlocking this map in, like, meter chunks at the moment. Wait, where? Oh, once we go up there, what's this place? Well, I probably have to go up here anyway because this is a staircase. Oh well, actually, no, it's a staircase with a rat. Like this is disability friendly, but then they've just ruined it by putting all stairs at the bottom. I mean, not to say I've seen that many people in wheelchairs in Eorzea, but you know, there must be someone. They probably fly, don't they? They probably fly around. Is there no Aetheryte shard on this map then? How do I get back here? Maybe there's a secret one somewhere. But normally I'm sure they've shown up on the map sort of in the first instance. Maybe not. It'd be kind of annoying if there isn't an Aetheryte shard here that I can just fast travel back and forth with. Because I need to go to the Golden Saucer and pick up my tickets. You know, after 7 PM tomorrow, but still. Wait, is this a different map altogether? Or is this just a different part of the same map? Knowledge seeks no man, so says the motto of Sharlayan engraved upon yonder stone. The meaning is simple, it falls to us to seek enlightenment. During the 6th Astral Era, at the turn of the 13th century, men from the northern nation of Sharlayan journeyed across the seas of Eorzea in search of knowledge. Upon arriving at these shores, they established a camp for their scholarly endeavours. Over time, this camp grew into a settlement, and the settlement prospered, and so much that it came to be counted among Eorzea's great city-states. Alas, those glory days are now but a fading memory. With her keepers lost to her, Sharlayan has become an empty husk of her former self. Ishgard, Uplander is mistaken. Sharlayan has new keepers, is on cusp of new age of glory. It's the goblins! What's up? Goblins, here to plunder the city. Uplander has mistaken muchly. We are not thieves. This place is our home. Gobby nod. Your home? When last I looked, it was mine and Alphino's. We were born here. So are we. Goblins don't live very long. Pushum. When Uplanders abandon city, Uplanders give up claim. Born here or no, Uplanders are trespassers. We will murder you, by the way. We have the power and the authority. By that I mean no one cares if some goblins die, honestly. My friends, please, we did not come to dispute your claim to this land. Our purpose here is peaceful. We desire but to cross the river. Be calm, I beg you, and let us speak like the civilized folk that we are. Surely we can come to a mutual understanding. sure. If there is truth, then uplanders are welcome here. Come with Slowfix. Slowfix will show uplanders settlement. The old Scion nod. That's a nod of, I just roll with it. It's fine. Let the goblins think they own the place. We can wipe them out once we're done here. It's fine. You know, when we want to get the place back. Oh, this is actually like a little town. I mean, it is a little town. That means people will play Triple Triad with me here. Alright, let's attune. Gosh. Ishgard! Here is Heart of Settlement, name of Edelshire. Midnight Dew. Huh. What have we got here? Guests. Greetings to you. I am Alphino Lavillia. May I introduce my companions Jack, Dandy, and Yishtola. We have journeyed far in search of a friend, and seek to cross the river. But finding the main bridge collapse, you went looking for a detour and ended up stumbling into Slowfix and his crew. Is that right? That is the short of it, aye. This place, Edelshire, I came to expecting a ghost town. Suffice it to say, I was surprised to find it so alive. Well, with them precious artifacts lying around, it was only a matter of time before treasure hunters like me moved in. We weren't the first to arrive, neither. By then, Slowfix and his gobble friends were already settled. At first, gobbles and hunters dislike each other, but understanding came, then friendship. Now gobbles and hunters have joined hands to build great new nation. So that is what happened after we Sharlians departed. So you're the locals. No hard feelings, I hope. All these nice buildings, but no one to live in them. Felt like a waste, you know. We've been trying to put the place to rights, and things have been going well for the most part, but it ain't all smooth sailing. Not to sound ungrateful, but the traps your people left lying around are a bloody nuisance. And there's the Illuminati harrying us day and night. Ishgard, Slowfix has bright idea. Uplanders desire mutual understanding, yes? Best way to understanding is helping one another. Help citizens of Edelshire, and Uplanders can be citizens too. Citizens are free to cross river. Well, I am not aware of a quicker way to reach our destination. Let us assist Slowfix and his people. Yay! Woo! Yay! Bosh! We have achieved Edelshire. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Maybe like Idleshire or Idalishire or some such. But no matter, we are here. Community service, stop bugging me. I bet one of these guys has got a Triple Triad challenge under them. Maybe even Slowfix himself. Excuse me. Right. I think I'm going to call it a day there. Because, as I said, I'm starting to get a bit of a headache. I think it was doing the bird voices earlier. Kind of drained me. So we'll call it there. I feel like this is a good place to stop. I think we might be able to finish Vanilla Heavenswood next week. Let me have a quick look. Let's have a look at the main scenario quests. And we want the Heavenswood main scenario quests. Level 58 to 60. So we just finished Onward to Sharlian. And we're now at the Great New Nation, which I think is the final batch of missions. Oh, it looks like we get a load of the Aether current missions are all story missions. So maybe... Maybe I don't have to go out of my way to get them. But let's see. So we've got Idleshire and the Dravanian Hinterlands. That's the mission we just finished. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 missions until we finished Vanilla Heavensward. And of those, 2 are dungeons. That's normally the stopping point is the dungeon, because you have to wait to sort of queue for enough people to show up. It wasn't so bad today though, and I think we've got dungeon 1, 2, 3, 5 missions in. The real problem's going to be the last one. If I get to like midnight and I'm on the final dungeon of Heavensward, then it's going to be difficult to find enough people to do that one. But that's next week's problem. Let's not worry about that this week. And it's a moot point if these missions turn out being super, super long. I mean, there was a load in today that were just, like, literally talk to a dude and then... Yeah, like, I'm looking at the list. I mean, I got through... What did we get? We started there. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 story missions and a few side missions to unlock the flying. And then we unlocked the flying and then I immediately friggin' left the area. So that was time well spent. But like I said, I needed to do it eventually anyway, so... Cool. Alright, well, we'll either finish it... If we don't finish it next week... we don't finish Heavensward next week, we'll finish it the week after. I mean, I say finish Vanilla Heavensward. I'm going to go straight into the post-Heavensward expansions after that. And then do those all the way to Shadowbringers, I think is the next expansion. Anyway, and then what I'll probably do is, once I get to the end of the post-Heavensward content... Before we do Shadowbringers, we'll do the other Hildebrand quest. That's my current plan. And at some point in all that, I'm sure I will hit level 70, and we'll go and do the Red Mage quests. Yeah, that's my plan. So, thinking ahead for the next kind of couple of months. And that's, well, providing I don't try and sign on after the 6.1 patch comes out and just cannot get in for the life of me because there's a 10,000 people in the queue trying to get in. So we'll see how that is. I need to find some new clothes for next week. I've been having a good I guess I could just go back to my default, what I consider my default costume. I've had quite a good track record of unlocking new clothes, but I haven't really done anything this week to buy any new clothes. So I'll just go back to my my jacket, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, let's call it there. Thanks for watching. If you did, next stream's tomorrow, lunchtime, 12 PM GMT. We are going to play some more Elden Ring. We finished the Academy, so I think we're going on to something. Oh, there's ants. We're going to go fight some ants. I don't know how long that'll take us. Apparently they're annoying, so it might take a while. And yeah, that's all day tomorrow. So if I see you then, I'll see you then. Otherwise, I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching. If you did, I've been Jack Dandy. You've all been just Dandy, as always. And I'm going to, well, I say sleep. I'm tired, but also full of energy drink. So and I need to do some shorts. Not that you care. None of this matters to any of you, but yeah. Good night is my point. Good night. Bye.